Today was made possible by industry funding and guidance from lung cancer patient groups.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Carrier defends this one back. Miller, Chatfield, stalling, scores! The captain with his second, and we're tied at 2 in Winnipeg.
Oh, baby, the captain is having a night.
Carolina, Miller with a nice play up for Aho. Aho's got a step, coming in on Connery. Aho with a chance, follow up, he scores! Talk to me, Shorty! Seth Jarvis, his second shorthanded goal of the year, and the Canes take a 3-2 lead.
Get everybody ready for tonight. Hi, everyone. It's the Adam Gold Show. What's up? I'm Adam Gold, live on YouTube. Make it simple. Go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show, 99.9 The Fan, either one. Get to us same way. To watch us do the show, I'm me, Max Gorin, sitting in for Victoria, who is, I don't know, stuffing a turkey right now. Whatever she's doing.
Mashing some potatoes, maybe?
Could be. Peeling the potatoes first. That's what my son is. My son doesn't have school today, so he's on potato and apple duty. Got to peel them all.
You know, in French, potato is pomme de terre, apple of the earth.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Look
pomme
at
is
that.
apple, pomme de terre. It's one of the few things I picked up in 3 years of high school French.
Very nice. Very nice. I did not I thought you were like going all culture on us there, Max. I don't know. We have a lot to do. There's so much going on. It's a Wednesday and a Friday all wrapped up into one, and it's like a super Friday because of everything that's going on.
I think we won't be back till Monday. There's Canes. There's 3 Canes games before we come back. The Panthers play.
Panthers. Will they?
Carolina, State, Duke, all playing basketball.
Right, basketball and football.
Yes, and football as well. Yeah, on Saturday.
So we've got the Carolina State football game, Duke Wake football game. Those are both interesting. We have the final weekend of ACC football. All of college football. It's the greatest. Like, there are places that will just go, "What's the best rivalry?" It's fine, you can do that. You have Michigan, Ohio State. You've got the Iron Bowl. You've got the Egg Bowl, which is tomorrow night. They play that on Thanksgiving night. You've got Texas and Texas A&M, which they haven't played in a while. But
yeah, that rivalry renewed. Got a bunch of the NFL slate. Now they also have Black Friday as well.
Four football games. When we do the Survivor Pool, we have to make 2 Survivor Pool picks.
Yeah, got to make a pick for Thanksgiving and for the rest of the games.
We started this out just in case there was somebody in the audience who did the $1,000 buy-in Circa Sports Survivor Pool, and I think you were allowed up to 10 entries.
I'm regretting I went to Las Vegas right before the season started. I kind of wish I had signed up, because then if I had just tailed the pick from the show every week, I'd still be in.
You would still be in.
They show the implied value of like the picks that are left to it. It's like thousands of dollars.
It's over $20,000 for each entry now. Yeah, and we lost a few last week. There was nobody that really got super burned, although you could argue that those people who had Detroit, present company included, should have lost.
Say, no pictures on the scorecard.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Yes, that's holding out from a sand trap for par. There's no doubt about that. But we're still in it. And we've got to make a pick for the Thanksgiving and Black Friday games. and then we have to make a pick for the balance of the weekend. So 2 picks coming.
Yeah, 39 people got out this week. 5 of them picked the Saints. Don't know what you were doing there. And then 29, the majority of people got out were on the Raiders. 29 people against the Browns. I guess they were at home. That kind of adds up to HOBAG, other than the Raiders are not a good team.
Right, exactly. They're not a good team. Look, there are certain things, certain times that you can suspend a rule. I mean, you would have to have no other options for me to suspend 2 rules.
Yeah.
You would have to have no other options, really, for me to take a team on the road. I would never do that, ever. The one rule I think you can suspend, but again, it's only, like break glass in case of emergency, the division games. I think that's, of all the rules, that's the one that, all right, yeah.
You can give a little bit on.
And we've done it once. Only once. We took the Patriots to beat the Jets. And tuning in, if you are interested in this, it might happen this weekend, right? But by and large, if you followed the rules, you're still dancing.
Yeah, everybody who got out this past week, they broke one rule. The Raiders are not a good team.
Not a good team.
We're playing a divisional game, and the Bills were on the road.
Why were you taking the Saints?
That's a great question.
It's like picking the Jets.
You don't even
it's
have
like
to
picking
use
Tennessee.
You don't have to use every team because there's only 18 weeks,
right?
You don't have to. Plus Thanksgiving, so 19
it's
picks.
Not an obligation. It's just not an obligation. I do believe that coming up this weekend, we might be picking against a team that earlier in the season we took, and that doesn't happen all the time either. So tons of things we have to talk about. We have a hockey game. We got football. We haven't mentioned the college football playoff rankings, all of that. We have coaching moves to get to. All right, we can start.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
And we're going to hear from the Hurricanes head coach Rod Brindamore here in a second. It's a very quick conversation I had with Rod before today's game. I was over at the morning skate. Let me just get to a couple of things quickly. So I get out to the skate, and we're trying to count who's here, who's not. Keandre Miller did skate. He's good to go. Jesperi Kotkaniemi was in yellow. Very Pittsburgh Steelerish, but he's in a yellow sweater, so he's at least skating with the group. Can't be too long before we see him back. He was placed on IR, but theoretically they could activate him and play tonight because he's missed enough games.
It's crazy how it looked like things were turning around for the injury situation for a second, and then now everyone's banged up. Like Taylor Hall, who the coach said was fine, but he left early, and Martin Nook seems like he's dealing with something lower body, but he'll be playing. But
I watched Jordan skate, just to keep moving during the morning skate. He clearly is bothered by something, but they don't have any options tonight. So they could go 11-7 if a forward could not go. Rod doesn't want to do that. So they brought up Justin Robidas. He'll assume the role of fourth-line center. Mark Jankowski will play between Martin Nook and Will Carrier. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Martin Nook's ice time somewhat diminished a little bit tonight. It all depends on how the game is going. Obviously, you're going to need a good start against the Rangers. Rangers coming off a win. Here's what's interesting about the Rangers tonight. The Rangers are 2-7-1 at home. That's pretty brutal. That says you're one of the worst teams in the league, except that they are 9-4-1 on the road. No clue how you do that, but that's what Carolina's dealing with tonight. It'll be Frederick Anderson, and I know Kane's Twitter, which is always rational, is mad because they hate Freddie now, and they love Brandon Bussey. And I thought Bussey played very well in Winnipeg, but I also thought Freddie played very well in Buffalo. It was the first time in a minute that I think Freddie looked good. You can't None of the goals are on him.
The offense just didn't really generate in that game.
The team didn't really generate much, right? Yeah, the offense didn't. They didn't generate a ton of offense in Winnipeg. They scored enough goals to win it. But it wasn't like Minnesota. The funny thing is that the Minnesota game this past week was way better than the Winnipeg game. They lost the Minnesota game in a shootout. Freddie wasn't great in that game, and you could tell. Winnipeg, they played great, didn't really generate a ton of offense, but Bussy played well. And in Buffalo, while Carolina as a group was no better than mediocre, and Buffalo was good, they were sort of in the game. That third goal that I didn't talk to Sebastian Aho about it, but I think we all understand he probably would do that play over differently. That goal, the Beck-Mallinston goal at the end of the second period, was a killer because now it's not a one-shot hockey game anymore, and they just didn't generate enough. But I thought Anderson played well. That was my takeaway from the game, was that Freddie, at least for the first time in a while, looked like he was much better. And that Freddie Anderson going forward will be good. I think Freddie will be good tonight. We'll see if the Hurricanes win it. But you mentioned injuries. The power play has been much better. They've scored in 2 straight games. They've generated scoring chances on just about every power play that they have had. They just need to start cashing in more. But again, they're not getting a ton of opportunities. So it's not like you're going 1 for 5. They're going like 1 out of 3. You're right. So I think once they start getting 3, 4, 5 power plays a game, and you get on a run where you do that, I think you're going to start to see some more power play goals coming.
Power plays up to 29th in the NHL.
They're on fire. More of a problem for the Hurricanes is the penalty kill. Penalty kill has not been good. So they're probably around 20th on the penalty kill.
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah. It's not very un-Canes-like.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic.
So before we present my conversation with Rod Brindamore, we're going to do that here in a sec. You think about the things that Carolina has dealt with and where they are in the standings. They've probably lost, I'm ballparking this because Jacob Slavin, this is the, 23rd game tonight against the Rangers? I think it's the 23rd game of the season. So this will be the 21st game that Slavin has missed. Miller has missed like 8 or 9. Gostisbehere about the same. They've probably missed, close to 40 man games due to injury on the blue line. They've played all these rookies. Yeah, they had forwards have missed, but pretty much it's been the blue line that has been decimated. Not to mention Pyotr Kochetkov missing the first half, first half of this part of the season, and he's out again. Goaltending has been like below league average goaltending over the course of now this will be the 23rd game. Power play has been dreadful pretty much all year. And with all that, and special teams has been bad because the penalty kill isn't good. It's worst combined special teams in the Brindamore era so far. And yet, who's got the best record in the Eastern Conference? It's uncanny that this team is where they are based on everything that they have had to deal with. They're not the only team dealing with injuries. Nobody's saying that. But they have overcome a lot, and they're in great shape. They're in much better shape than Toronto, than Edmonton, who gave up 8 last night.
That's like the second or third time at least this year they've done that. They lost 9-1 to Colorado like last week too.
Yep, it's not been going well in a lot of different spots, but Carolina is muddling through. All right, real quick, here is my conversation this morning with the head coach.
I don't know, and that's the way it goes. I mean, no one's going to feel sorry for you, but it's the reality of it, and the other guys have to, as a group, we have to pull this together. It's not going to be on one guy. It never is with our team, and it certainly can't be now. It has to be everybody.
I know Slavin skated before practice yesterday. I saw KK in a yellow jersey. Obviously he's closer than Jacob is. Any idea?
Yeah. No, not really. I mean, I guess obviously when you see a guy, when I see him out there, okay, I would hope he's closer, but Jacob's the one that obviously we've been missing all year, and I don't have any answer on that one.
Tonight is the start of a 7-game homestand. Do you like 7-game homestands?
No, that's too many probably,
right.
But we've been on the road a lot this year, it feels like. A couple of really long road trips that they just wear you down. So hopefully, if anything, we can get healthy maybe through this and come out of it feeling good about where we're at.
Could be home because of the holiday?
Yeah, not really. I mean, that does nothing for me. But
what? You're a Thanksgiving guy?
Not really. I mean, it's our sport. You don't get that ever off.
Right.
It's never like we play the next day. You practice it's like that Christmas is that's my thing. We definitely. I know I'm getting time off then. So
a day before and
after. I've had that forever and ever. So Thanksgiving never really.
Is Thanksgiving a bad one for Billy? Because Billy's got to worry. What are these guys eating? Are they going to be ready to go?
Probably. You know what? That's a good point. I mean, let's worry about that tomorrow.
All right. The goalies. I know Freddie's going to start tonight. I thought he was good in Buffalo. I know it didn't go well. Maybe the best he'd kind of looked in a little bit.
He made some big saves. Kept us kind of hanging around. I mean, we need that. I mean, can't be average, really. Like, we got to get above average goaltending. So, and that's what it was that night. We need that.
And Bus in Winnipeg.
He was solid. Again, it wasn't like he was great, but then when we needed it to be, he came through.
All right, final thing. Rangers games are always different here.
Yeah.
There's good for Keandre. At least it's not there. It's here. What is it about games with the Rangers?
I don't know. I mean, we got not half, but there's a lot of people from.
Oh, they're all in one little area
that moved down here for a reason.
Exactly.
And then now they got to cheer for that team, but that creates a little bit of a buzz. And that's fine.
It's good for the atmosphere.
I think I love it. I just, it always makes me laugh. Like, they're not going back there. I can tell you that. But
they go back to Cary, and then they put their Kane stuff on for the next game,
and that's okay. We're good with that. But that I think helps to add to like that little bit of buzz in the arena.
It's funny, I love it. It's the head coach Rod Brindamore. State won the basketball game yesterday afternoon. Yeah, they looked like the team we thought they were going to look like against Seton Hall. Now, Seton Hall is probably better than Boise State. Right? We could just say, let's just start from there. Although Seton Hall last year wasn't very good at all. But this Seton Hall team does look a lot better. But they were aggressive. They were just more active in every possible way. And what Seton Hall did to State on Monday, State did to Boise State.
Yeah.
It really wasn't much. Second half, State was in good shape.
They were in a lot better of a defensive kind of rhythm. Matt Abel's really great on the defensive end. He had 5 steals. I mean, he could be one of the better defenders on this team.
Matt Abel is a really good player. Yes, he's. You don't see a lot of young players who are bought in defensively, right? And those kind of players ultimately, they force their way into more playing time. Nothing will impress a coach more than somebody who gets into locking down on defense. Nothing will impress a coach more. So I would anticipate you're going to see Abel kind of inch his way into more and more minutes as the season goes on, but he was exceptional. Look, I think that's one of the best things about Caleb Wilson at UNC. And we talked to Seth Greenberg last week, and Seth was like, that guy just locks down defensively. Actually, I think it might have been this week. Who knows? That guy just locks down defensively, and he loves it. He said, what did he say? Like the best freshman defender that he can recall at that position. So somebody who can guard. He might be able to guard 4 positions. He's twitchy. He's long. He's quick. And there's nothing bad to say about Caleb Wilson. So, to me, and they won comfortably over St. Bonaventure yesterday, and they'll play on Thursday against Michigan State. Duke will play against Arkansas on Thursday. I know State State's got a game today. Actually, in Maui, I didn't see when exactly.
They're playing Texas at 9:30 tonight.
Oh, a normal time.
So 3:30 back in Hawaii.
It's not a 9:30 game like they've played the last two games. Hey, good. I'm glad. To avoid Chaminade is important when you go out there. To avoid Chaminade is important because that game does nothing for you. Nothing. So, lots to do. We did basketball. Real quick about the college football playoff last night. Remember a week ago, they said that, well, we're not comparing Miami and Notre Dame. So the head-to-head doesn't come into play because they're not in the same pool. So last night, they said that Miami is now in the same pool with Notre Dame, and they still ignored head-to-head.
Well, I mean, did you see the big win over Virginia Tech last week? Clearly that puts them in the same conversation.
I just don't understand. Whatever. It's the whole thing is funny to me. And I know the metrics, the analytics, the statistical data that Notre Dame has compiled is the difference between Notre Dame and Miami. That's the difference. No doubt about it. Because Notre Dame's got, they don't have a better win than Miami. Notre Dame's best win is Southern Cal, which really hasn't accomplished a ton. Not awful. I think Southern Cal's best wins are Illinois and Iowa. And that's Notre Dame's best win, Southern Cal. The second best win is Pitt, which if Miami beats Pitt, will Pitt still be ranked at the end of, when we get to next week? I honestly don't know the answer to that. Pitt is, I think, 22nd. So there's a lot. There's a lot to think about with that college football ranking, but I think it's funny that the committee, now we're in the same pool. Clearly, Notre Dame is in the deep end, and Miami's in the kiddie section. Surprised they didn't do that. Although, he's getting a lot of flack for it. But Yarmachuk, whatever his name is, the guy, the committee chairman? Yurachek. I combined his name with, I believe, a name of a defenseman in the Western Conference. He did 6'7" last night. He's getting a lot of flack for it.
The committee?
Yeah, the committee chairman. They asked him about what happens to Ole Miss, blah, blah, and they went 6'7". It's funny. It's all right. It does mean that the 6'7" thing is over.
I think it's kind of been over.
No, it's over now. When the chairman of the college football playoff selection committee uses it, it's time to find a new thing, kids.
We got committee chairman doing 6'7" memes and brain rot instead of explaining their methodology.
They don't have a methodology. Max.
Exactly.
Come on.
It's over. It's never been more over for the CFP.
We're going to talk to Chip Patterson about that and more next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
He scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and the Rangers.
Stoley scores! The captain with his second. We're tied at 2 in Winnipeg.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Aho with a chance. Follow up, he scores! Talk to me, Shorty! Seth Jarvis! His second shorthanded goal of the year!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like Akoya Pearl Studs starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. Stock Exchange. But there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 919-205-9800. That's 919-205-9800.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
This is Dr. Craig McGiffin with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Did you know, according to research, a majority of people gain their weight back after stopping those expensive weight loss shots? Don't become another statistic. Our doctor-developed program doesn't just help you lose weight, it helps you keep it off for good. We've helped over 70,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks and maintain their results long-term. No more yo-yo dieting or weight regain. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've lost 42 pounds thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And Raleigh Weight Loss Center is having a huge 20% off Lose It holiday sale running from now all the way through Black Friday, November 28th. You can give them a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com to set up that free 15-minute phone consultation. 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSEIT. Results may vary.
Thanksgiving is a time to reflect on our blessings and share moments with family and friends. May your holiday be filled with love, laughter, and delicious food. Wishing you a happy Thanksgiving from everyone at 99.9 The Fan and Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what do we... What?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Max Gorin on the ones and twos. It's Wednesday. It's Friday at the same time. It feels like a holiday. And that's maybe because we're about to talk to Chip Patterson, CBSSports.com, Cover 3 podcast moderator. It's a big Cover 3 podcast day because Danny Kannell is next hour. Embarrassment of riches for me. Chip Patterson, my friend, in advance, a little earlier appearance. I know you've got TV duties coming up, so thanks for doing this a little early. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. What are the Patterson traditions for the holiday? Too many.
Too many. Too many to name. Truthfully, it is one that I've been malleable. You know, we've had some Thanksgivings that, for example, my family had a Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving dinner was in New York City at a French restaurant one time.
We've done that.
Family,
we did it at a Chinese restaurant.
Thanksgiving Day parade. We did a lot of other, holiday season in the city events. I was in middle school, I think. We've had some good Thanksgiving, some tough Thanksgiving. So I would say that we're not. We're not locked in to just one set of expectations.
Flexibility.
But, yeah, it's a flexible holiday. I will say, to peel back the curtain on this unprecedented statewide platform, It is going to be a fundamentally impressive feat for you to be on with Danny Kannell next hour.
Well, yes.
It's going to be really impressive. I know Danny's very talented.
He is, yes. That may or may not have been recorded yesterday afternoon.
I know who I'm on CBS Sports Network with from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. today.
Chip Patterson.
It's impressive. That's all. I'm just going to say it's impressive. But fired up to be with you.
Before we get to the playoff, what do you make of what's going on at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin? Because, nobody is denying that he's been, courted by both Florida and LSU. Somebody reached out to me and said, yeah, LSU is done. I have no idea, and I don't necessarily I wouldn't necessarily trust that person with the information anyway. Not that I don't trust that person, but it's just not his thing. What do you make of what's going on here?
Big boy decisions.
Right.
You're playing in a different league. I think that anyone who can say with certainty that they know what's going to happen here is lying, unless your name is Lane Kiffin.
Right.
I think Lane has enjoyed being wooed. I think he has enjoyed all of the everything that has come with the successful season and the current coaching carousel. The idea that somebody that was seemingly cast out of the power conferences, fired on a tarmac as USC's head coach, he had to go down to Florida Atlantic to rehabilitate his head coaching career. And to go from that, playing in leading a team in a Conference USA title game, to spending this exact same weekend getting wooed by the likes of LSU and Florida, and having Ole Miss back up the Brinks truck, ready to just make you mayor of Oxford. Number one, I think Lane is enjoying the process.
Sure.
I don't think everybody is enjoying the process.
Mm-mm.
I feel confident Ole Miss is not enjoying the process.
Do you think his players are cool with it? We sort of went through it with Will Wade, right? It obviously much lower profile because of McNeese State in the Southland, right?
Rival.
Right. Different with a conference rival. Also different when you get to where Ole Miss is right now in rarefied air for that program. Because, and I asked Danny this, I was surprised at the answer, but doesn't really matter. I asked him how many teams could win a national championship, and he thought maybe a dozen. He said there will be teams that miss the playoff that I think could win a national championship. I don't want to get into whether or not I think that's right or wrong, but Ole Miss is a playoff team. So I'm going to say that Ole Miss has a chance to win a playoff. This would be like high-level sabotage if Lane Kiffin isn't going to be with the Rebels as we get further along in this process.
If I'm LSU and I'm putting together $100 million offer, I don't want you to spend another day doing anything other than working on LSU. And that's not just the transfer portal. That's not just the recruiting class that has an early signing day right here at the beginning of December.
Right.
That is. That is LSU wanting to make sure that every bit of your energy is spent assembling the staff. I mean, we don't need to go way off the line, and I'm not meaning to send astray at Chapel Hill, but as I've continued to sort of unpack everything that's happened, the speed with which Bill Belichick assembled the staff was probably one thing that could have been improved in terms of the entire roster building process.
Yeah, I don't think I would use the term speed. It took forever.
It just adds. I want to bring the full picture of it's not even just the players, right? Lane Kiffin, if he's going to be paid $100 million, or if he's going to get one of the biggest contracts in all of college football, whether it's at LSU or at Florida, anywhere other than Ole Miss, Texas, Alabama, Tennessee Titans, who cares? Wherever they want to know that you are going to be spending every second from the moment you accept the job preparing for the 2026 season for that team. So, yeah, if LSU or Florida were in the college football playoff, it would feel a little bit more like sabotage. I think it's just, again, my first response to you, These are big boy decisions.
Yeah.
This is big, high stakes, no feelings kind of money. And this is no feelings kind of decisions that are being made when it comes to the future of these three programs.
Should it impact if they announce on the Egg Bowl is tomorrow night? If they announce Friday, Lane's the new coach at LSU, should it impact Ole Miss?
No. With Florida State, we had not just one game, but multiple games when we saw the Seminoles without Jordan Travis.
Right.
And you could point to that's a far different team. You don't know whether if Pete Golding, for example, were to take over as the interim coach, the defensive coordinator for the Rebels, you don't know if that defense all of a sudden decides that they're going to lead the charge. You don't know that Ole Miss cannot be able to put together playoff caliber football with the absence of Lane Kiffin. And if you believe in damage control, the messaging has been there. Just when you get a chance, you'd be really surprised. The Ole Miss official football Twitter account was very celebratory about the Broyles Award finalist honors for Charlie Weiss Jr. And in a big promotional, congratulations, Charlie, on being named one of the top assistant coaches in the country, they noted play caller, game planner, as if to message, Adam, it ain't all Lane. This offense can still score without Lane. So I wonder whether Ross Dellinger's got a report that Ole Miss is already starting to put together if Lane leaves type candidates lists.
Sure.
Florida, according to a Ross Dellinger report, has already started to really start to think about what the rest of the job search might look like if Lane goes to LSU or stays at Ole Miss. So I think that the preparations are such that he would leave. But again, I want to drive this home. I do not believe anybody, unless you are Lane Kiffin, that this thing is final.
All right, so I think Lane could stay. I think Lane could stay at Ole Miss. I wouldn't be super surprised if he did. Everything is about perception. In college football, it's all about perception. It's why Miami could lose to a one-loss Louisville team who was clearly a different team then before all of the injuries to the running back position, and they have now lost 3 straight, and why the committee can basically devalue anything you have done to Louisville, anything you have experienced with Louisville, even though we know that Louisville is not the same team today than they were then. Florida State, the games that they won without Jordan Travis, and I think it's worth pointing out, games that they won without Jordan Travis didn't matter because of the perception that they were not the same team. It would be a farce to me to try to pretend that Ole Miss would be the same team. I'm not saying they'd be dramatically worse. If they were a 2-loss team as opposed to a 1-loss team, I think, and I'm not arguing that Ole Miss doesn't belong in the playoff. That is not the point. But we can't pretend that they would be the same. But if they were a 2-loss team, it would be more of a conversation. But they are 10-1, and they're going to beat Mississippi State, and they'll be 11-1. And I guess there's still a chance they could play in the SEC championship game. I don't know. But anyway,
wow, that's a confident statement on an Egg Bowl with some putrid vibes in Starkville, Mississippi.
Maybe. And if okay, so let me ask this question: if they lose to Mississippi State, what's like they're not in any. And then Lane leaves. We're not having a different conversation?
No, they're in trouble.
Okay, they are. Just for losing to Mississippi State, whether Lane stays or not, they might be in trouble.
No, Ole Miss does not have a robust resume. They've got, they've got the close loss against Georgia. They've got the win against Oklahoma. But, man, it ain't like overflowing with quality victories. A second loss, you know what it's similar to? It's similar to the Oregon Ducks. If I was Oregon, I would not lose to Washington.
Right.
It's a different conversation because Oklahoma and Alabama and Notre Dame have already gotten preferential treatment as the top 2 loss teams in the country. And so you don't want to be into that conversation if you are already clear of it. Texas Tech is another one. Hey, you're going to play Rich Rod at West Virginia. You should win by 50, but it's the last game of the season.
Right.
And it's at West Virginia. So there's a couple of spots here where I'm kind of circling and I'm saying you control your destiny more than most teams. However, if you screw this up, things could get dicey, and Ole Miss is on that list.
Yeah, take it from somebody who has been in Morgantown in late November, early December-ish time. It can get blurry in Morgantown, West Virginia. Chip Patterson joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. So last week, the new committee chairman has said that Notre Dame and Miami were not in the same pool of teams, therefore we're not really taking into account head-to-head. Now he did say that they were in the same pool, but they still were not taking it into account. And frankly, I'm not arguing that Notre Dame doesn't belong, but it does baffle me how little they look at who you beat as opposed to who you lost to. And but I say this in basketball too. We harp on who'd you lose to? Well, we're not playing any of those teams. Who'd you beat? And Miami would have, by a substantial margin, I think, the best win of those two teams. And there's also enough of an overlap in the schedules where we can compare these two teams because Notre Dame played a lot of the same teams Miami played. So I don't think there's that much difference between the two teams, but apparently, even though they're in the same pool, one's in the kiddie area and the other's in the deep end.
Miami started at 18; they're all the way up to 12, and they've been beating tomato cans. If
the same teams Notre Dame beat,
same argument, they put them too low. They've been slowly sliding them up, even though the wins have not necessarily been of quality variety.
No.
They're ending with something that's probably a little bit closer to where they should have started. Notre Dame's awesome.
I'm just confused as to how they're awesome.
They're awesome. It's like our Indiana fights. If you go and you kick butt, and nothing can stop the foot from kicking the butt, then there is something inherent. I mean, this is a violent game.
I agreed.
It's about land grab and about kicking butt. And I think that Notre Dame does a great job of kicking butt. Miami does not always kick enough butt. So I think the Fighting Irish they've been a team that kick a lot of butt.
So we're going to get to the last game. And look, Pitt, who ruins everything.
Right.
I don't think there's an ACC team other than occasionally Georgia Tech who got beat by Pitt. I don't think there's an ACC team that has ruined more seasons than Pitt. Maybe it's just perception over the last several years. But if Miami goes to Pitt, it's at Pitt. If Miami goes to Pitt and wins comfortably, what kind of it? Now, maybe it doesn't. Like I said, I'm not even arguing that Miami should get in ahead of Notre Dame, but I would much rather hear the committee say, this is why we love Notre Dame, and not necessarily say they're just better than Miami, because it's hard for people to unsee a game in which Miami was significantly better than Notre Dame. If we remember that first game of the season, Miami let their foot off the gas in the middle of the third quarter and hung on. But
I think that's a show of weakness for a college football team. The inability to put your opponent away, it's weakness.
It is a weakness. Except they won the game.
They won the game. 42-7 was the score against Stanford. 41-7 was the score against NC State. Here's how I'll put it. If Miami goes to Acrisure Stadium in 31-degree weather, Miami on the road in November in 31-degree weather against Pat Narduzzi and Pitt. Okay. If I set all that up and they whoop them at the line of scrimmage and win 42-7. Similar score to what they had against Stanford, what they had against NC State. If they put up 42-7, I think Notre Dame better crush Stanford.
And they're going to crush Stanford anyway.
If Miami's final statement is beating Pitt by a larger margin than Notre Dame beat Pitt, then Notre Dame might need style points with that 10:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff against Stanford. I would not lay an egg on the farm.
All right, final thing, because we do have to go. I mean, am I crazy to wonder why we never talk about wins? It seems like we always talk about losses and stats. And Miami's
Everybody
win
always has a lot of wins when we get to these conversations.
Right, so why don't we highlight the best ones? Notre Dame's best win is who?
USC.
Right, I agree. And their second best win is who?
I think USC is the only one that registers.
Pitt would. I don't know.
Pitt would, correct. It did not last week, but it would this week.
Right. And, at the end of the day, they only care about, are you ranked at the end? And Miami theoretically would have this one as well. Like, again, I don't think that I value the win more than the committee does. The committee needs to look a certain way. But I think your job is just to win. I don't know. But they don't have enough data. We only play 12. So there's just not enough data. Oh, I did want to ask you this one question, and we're going way too long. What are the chances that Miami, who is the best team in the ACC, that if they beat Pitt, they still get in at the expense of the ACC champion?
That seems unlikely.
12-1 JMU, Tulane does the thing in the American, and then both of those leagues get conference championship spots.
Adam, I would have believed it more if JMU had shown up in the playoff rankings. The continued
it's far-fetched.
disrespect of the Dukes is a message that could not be more clear. They grabbed Arizona State and Arizona. I mean, they were grabbing Big 12 teams, Adam. There's a one-loss JMU team that has done nothing.
I agree with you. It's very far-fetched, but
like SMU is not ranked right now. If SMU wins the ACC, they'll magically show up.
Oh, of course they will. Of course they will. Chip Patterson, happy Thanksgiving to you, my man. I'll talk to you soon.
Happy Thanksgiving. Sounds good. Y'all be well.
Chip Patterson here on the Adam Gold Show. When we come back, we have one-timers. You ask a question. If you go to YouTube and go into the chat, YouTube, search Adam Gold Show. Boom, there you are. You can type your little question right there in the chat. And Max has some questions of his own, I'm sure, but we can answer yours. Next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here. But don't worry, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And this Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It is called Pass the Leg. Gosh, I love Thanksgiving jokes. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, pass it to your friends. They can add theirs, but make sure you pass it to somebody who knows what they're doing. Like, don't pass it to me. FanDuel.com/AGS. And everybody gets a 50% profit boost to use on the build. FanDuel.com/AGS. Pass the Leg, official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Scams increase during the Medicare open enrollment period, so stay alert. Never give your Medicare, Social Security, credit card, or bank account numbers to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly and claims to be from Medicare. Your caller ID may show Medicare's name or phone, but caller ID can be spoofed. Just hang up. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
From the food we eat to the clothes we wear, agriculture touches every corner of our daily lives. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University. With the world's population growing, we need people equipped and trained to meet the needs of our future. In our program, we rise to meet that challenge every day, and our students are engaged and invested. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
This season, make the choice to protect what matters most, you and your family. Choose to get vaccinated for the best protection from respiratory illness.
Talking with your provider about vaccines, hand washing, and staying home when sick keep your family protected from the flu, RSV, and COVID.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season.
Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because that, I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
So, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Max Gorn on the ones and twos. Nothing says Thanksgiving like Daft Punk. Very nice. All right, lots to do. Todd Pelino is going to join us at the top of the hour. The kicker, or is he a running back? Is he now a running back? We'll find out.
He showed some speed there for sure.
Wheels. Real wheels. He had to, run past somebody to make that thing happen. So, we'll talk to him about the play and if he's lobbied Manny Diaz to get more reps, maybe at scat back. Anyway, first, it's time for one-timers. Let's do it.
All right. So we saw Monday night, unfortunately, for Carolina Panthers. Went down in prime time, lost the 49ers, and fell to 6-6, but still just half a game back of first place in the division in the NFC South. What do you think the Panthers' playoff chances are at this point, and should they be prioritizing a playoff run at this point?
The actual odds are probably in the neighborhood of 20%. The reality is it's 0. That's the reality. And I thought going into the game that, look, yeah, they're not really a playoff team, but the standings are such where they have a chance. And Tampa's got serious injury issues. But Tampa should be able to win enough games between now and the end of the season, even with those injury issues. Tampa's going to win the division. They'll get to 10 wins. There you go.
This one's actually from our YouTube chat. This is from Chris. If Dave Canales does not give up play calling duties, who will be gone first, Bryce Young or Dave Canales?
I don't think it has anything to do with Dave Canales giving up play calling duties. I really don't. He's going to call plays. Now they need to improve the operation, but he's going to call plays. And I think the answer is more than likely, if I had to say one or the other, I would say Canales will be gone first, but I think it is more than likely a push.
I'm thinking they'll both be there next year anyway. So.
That will be your combination. My takeaway from the game is that Bryce wasn't awesome all the time. He is good enough at times to make you go, there's something there. But he makes a lot of bad decisions. He doesn't read necessarily where the safety, like on that the touchdown, the interception in the end zone. Like, you got to be able to see the safety drop off, especially when you could run it in. That's not on Dave. That's on Bryce. But they do a lot of things that make you go, what are you doing? That is really on the head coach. I don't think they vibe. And I think, but I think they'll both be here next year.
All right, got about 30 seconds left here, so I'll just ask a simple overarching one. What is the number one game you're looking forward to tomorrow? Any sport?
Tomorrow, honestly. Duke, Arkansas is good in basketball. But I'm going to go Chiefs-Cowboys tomorrow because I still want to see the Chiefs be the Chiefs that everybody else sees that I don't. So that's the game I am most looking forward to. Kansas City at Dallas. Todd Pelino, next.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Bryce Young and Dave Canales need to decide if they trust each other. And if not, it's probably not best that they continue working with each other. One mistake shouldn't make you clam up your entire playbook, just like one big play doesn't change the plan in total. Right now, I don't think they're on the same page, and if they're not on the same page, it's all for naught.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code QUICK to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code QUICK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code QUICK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. This Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It's called Pass the Leg. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, then pass it to your friends so they can add theirs. When everyone's done, you each lock in the group parlay with your own funds. Because football's better when it's bet and played together. And to make it even better, Everyone gets a 50% profit boost to use on their build. For me, I'm thinking Dallas's George Pickens for an anytime touchdown. Grab your crew, start your build, and get in on the action this Thanksgiving with Pass the Leg. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul and get started. FanDuel.com/Paul. FanDuel, play your game. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
In World War I, American fighter pilots covering a plane's rear position coined the phrase, "I've got your six," to mean I've got your back. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
See if Pelino can get it done on the road. The right-footed kicker. Good snap. Good hold. It's a fake. Pelino to the left. 25-20. Down the sideline. Into the end zone. Oh, they say out of bounds at the 1. And it'll be first and goal. My goodness, what a call. How about that in a rivalry game on the road?
Snap, and it's just a little push pass right to Pelino, who instead of going to kick it, takes off sprinting to the left side.
Wow.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Max Gorham producing the program. Thank you very much for making us part of your pre-Thanksgiving day. Todd Pelino. All I could think of when I saw that play was wheels. Absolute wheels.
I appreciate it.
How are you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Did you go right into the cold tub after that just to kind of feel like, my hamstrings are a little tight? You had to outrun. First of all, did you get up and try to argue that you were in the end zone?
I actually got up and I didn't know whether or not I scored. The first thing I said to one of my teammates in the sideline was like, "Did I score?" And they're like, "No, you didn't score." I was like, "Ah." But we got to run another play because of it takes more time off the clock. So it ended up working out perfectly.
No doubt about it. And really the mission was, obviously you want to score, but the mission was to keep the possession. And you guys needed that. So as a kicker, because you've been great, as a kicker, wait, he doesn't trust me to make the kick? He's going to make me run it? What's going through your mind during the whole thing?
I was actually really excited to run the play. So on third down, I was ready to go. Obviously, I've been warming up in the net, expecting to kick a field goal to try and take the lead there late in the game. And Coach Infante comes up to me, Cade, and Kurt, my snapper and holder, on third down and says, "Hey, if we don't get any yards here, we're running flip left," which is what the play was called. So I heard that, and I was like, wow, okay. We've been installing that play for probably a month and a half now, almost the entire season, been working on that fake field goal and had it blocked up really well. So I was actually really confident in it. And we had a couple other opportunities early in the year where we probably had an opportunity but didn't, just took the points. And so I was really surprised, actually, that we were going to run it there. And then I just went out there. We had a certain look that we were going to check out of if they were in a safe look or they had a certain number of floaters. And they didn't have that. So my holder Cade told me, he was like, "We're running it." So I was like, "Let's go." But I wasn't I didn't have a time to be nervous about it because I was like, I can't believe we're running this right now. I was more excited, I would say, than nervous.
Todd Pelino is joining us here. 26-yard average from scrimmage. That's all I got. How did you keep a poker face there? Because you've got to sell business as usual. Otherwise, alerts go up everywhere, especially the guy on the other sideline has seen everything that there is to see in football. So how do you keep a poker face there?
Yeah, 100%. So that morning, Coach Diaz came up to us and told us a certain thing to do running onto the field, but on every single field goal, regardless if we were running the fake or kicking a normal field goal. So we did that, running onto the field. And then taking my steps back, we had practiced, like I said, multiple weeks in advance to this game. So I took my normal steps, and then I looked up through the uprights to is that something I do on a normal field goal? I looked up to the uprights like I would on anything else, and then just kind of got ready to run, I guess. But I honestly didn't even have time. I don't think I was so in the moment to worry about, okay, how do I look doing this? I was like, I basically just went through my normal field goal routine and then mentally just got ready to take a little jab and go.
How did you feel as you were about to do this? Because it's obviously different. You're focusing on the snap. You're doing all of the things that you would normally do for a kick, but in your head, that's not what's going to happen. So there have to be extra nerves at that point? You want to make sure everything is good. It could have gone famously bad. So what as the ball, as you're lining up and you're focused on it, how did you feel? I mean, I think I've asked you that question like 4 different times.
No, I mean, like I said, I was really excited. I mean, obviously it's a big moment, so there's going to be a little bit of nerves there against UNC away, 2 minutes left in the game. So I think saying I wasn't nervous at all might be a little bit of an understatement, but I honestly was just didn't even have time to think about it. I was just, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to catch the ball. And all I was really worried about was getting 3 yards. I knew it was 4th and 3. So I was more focused on what I was actually doing than thinking about the moment, everything going on around me. So.
You had to beat you had to beat one guy, right? You had to get outside of one guy, and then, like I said, what is your 40? Because you looked fast to me. Do you have a 40 time?
I don't have a 40 time. We have catapults at practice though. So I've run over 20 miles an hour. That's all I know. But I did have to. I was worried about getting 3 yards, and I saw the D lineman coming, so I kind of tried to get the edge, and I got the edge. I got a lot of green grass in front of me, so I was like, oh, I might be able to get one here. But no, I ended up getting hit out the one, which, like I said. But yeah, 20 miles an hour is the top speed, just over 20 miles an hour.
Todd Pelino, new Duke running back, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. So that was a hell of a hit, though. So how did that – you don't get hit a ton as a kicker.
No. I actually got hit in the first quarter. But
oh, well, you were into the game as a kicker. Nobody gives you a hard time now, man. You're a football player now. Mm-hmm. You're not just a kicker. But on that particular play, when you got hit out of bounds, do you even feel it, or is the adrenaline overwhelming?
The adrenaline completely took over. I wasn't even thinking about making contact with anybody. I was just thinking about running as fast as I can and straight. And I got to the sideline. It's funny you say that. And I still have a little cut here, if you can see that.
Oh, wow.
On my hand.
Can.
But I got a little helmet to the hand at the 1 yard line, and I didn't feel it at all. The adrenaline was pumping. I get to the sideline, and one of my teammates is like, look at your wrist. And I was bleeding down my wrist. I was like, I didn't feel it till the next morning. So, yeah.
What is the feeling? Because you have the rivalry game. You're there, right? It's not you're not in front of your guys. You're over there. What is that like in that setting at that moment?
Yeah, I think mentally we had prepared as a team to have kind of a play or two like that at the end of the game, because I've been here for 4 years, and all of the games these last 4 years have kind of come down to the last 2 minutes or so. My freshman year, we lost with about 30 seconds left to a touchdown. Sophomore year, double overtime. Last year, we won by 1. So I think Coach Diaz did a great job at kind of instilling in that in us all week, that this is going to come down to a couple points, last couple plays of the game. So I think obviously it's a big game. It's a big rivalry game. Mentally, it's tough to deal with those emotions. But I think because Coach Diaz kind of instilled that in us all week, we we, and myself included, were prepared for that moment.
Todd Pelino is joining us. A couple of more quick things. And he said after the fact, he goes, I didn't really feel like it was a gamble because we saw that we thought we could do it. And obviously he has incredible trust in you. Had you ever carried the ball in whether it was in high school? I was just going back through stats. I don't see another rushing attempt for you. So had you ever, run a play like that?
No, I have not. So my freshman and sophomore year, I was a holder on my high school football team. There was an older kicker, and I held for him. And then my senior year, I think we had a bad snap and an extra point, and I picked up the ball and just threw it away. But besides that, I've never held or ran or done anything with a football in a game ever in my entire life. I've played backyard football growing up. I've played other sports, but I've only touched the ball with my foot in college up until this point.
First of all, you look like a natural. You good tuck. You held it high. Obviously, you've got wheels. Your dad was a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
Were you also a soccer player growing up, or was it always football and kicking?
Yeah, so I grew up playing soccer. That was my main sport growing up. My dad's one of 3 brothers. All 3 of his brothers played college soccer. So I'm kind of from a soccer family. And then when I was in middle school, actually, I think 6th grade, our team needed a kicker, and they came to our middle school assembly and were like, hey, does anyone want to try this out? And I just raised my hand. I was like, sure, I'll try it out. So that's kind of how I got into football. But my whole family is a soccer family. I played basketball as well. I play a lot of golf, but yeah, primarily soccer growing up.
Man, it was fun to watch you roll.
Thank you.
You should line up. I mean, Nate Shepard, he's got nothing on you. What's his average?
He's got a lot on me.
What's his average though? You just stack up your yards per carry average against Nate. You got it.
Yeah, I think if you throw me back there 100 times, I'm not averaging what's Nate averaging, 7. I'd probably average in the negatives, but I'll take my 1 and run with it. So
literally, I appreciate your time, Todd. Good luck this weekend against Wake Forest. That was an absolute blast and an incredible moment this season. Appreciate your time. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Be well.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you having me on.
You got it. Oh, gosh, that was fun. Todd Pelino. Duke kicker / running back. When I was in high school, Max, you'll understand this. And I was a terrible high school football player. I just want everybody to know this. I am not bragging about my high school football exploits.
I didn't know you played.
There you go. Well, I didn't play, but I practiced.
I didn't know you were on the team.
I practiced. And I only played 1 year and played my junior year. It's changed schools, and I ended up playing I went from one high school to Nutley High School, which is most famous for having graduated Martha Stewart. Probably a decade before me, maybe even a little bit longer, because I'm not exactly sure how old Martha Stewart is. Anyway, so to meet people, I joined the football team to see if I can get in with a bunch of friends, and I actually that part worked. But as a football player, I was terrible, but I was a good athlete, and I was the scout team guy. So I played some JV. I probably only played 3 JV games, but I was the scout team. Whoever the other team's best player was, that was me. And you remember Craig Hayward, right?
Nope.
You don't remember? That's right. I forgot.
When did he play?
Craig Hayward played for mostly the Saints in the NFL, but he played in the 90s. This is a really good running back, very good running back in the NFL.
I was not alive.
You were not. You have tendencies to know things that happened before you were born.
I'm better with hockey stuff when it comes to that.
So anyway, for people listening, know who Craig Hayward was, and they might have heard me tell this before, but he was in our conference. And the game before we played, he went to Passaic High School. The game before we played Passaic High School, Craig Hayward, they won their game 34-0, and the box score was all Craig Hayward. He scored 5 touchdowns. He missed an extra point. He kicked the extra points too. It was C. Hayward, and he had 2 brothers that were younger that also played, but it was C. Hayward run, C. Hayward run, C. Hayward punt return, C. Hayward kickoff return, and he scored 5 touchdowns, kicked 4 extra points. I was him that week in practice because we were playing them the second to last week of the season. And they abused me. The whole point of this story was if you play high school football, you get that Letterman's jacket. And, it's beautiful. It's the wool and the chest and the leather sleeves, different color. It's really cool. And they'll put your number and then your positions on the sleeve, right? They'll like I was technically a running back and linebacker, even though I never played either position. I never stepped foot on the field in a varsity game. So, but I had that on my jacket. I had my number, best number ever for somebody that never played. I was number 32, listed as a running back. I mean, my favorite player to watch as a kid was Marcus Allen, number 32. It couldn't have been better. But yeah, I never played, but I had running back and linebacker. Now, the whole point of this was Todd, on his Duke jacket, if they had those, he could put PK RB. It's a long way to go for that, wasn't it? And then you didn't even know who Craig Hayward was.
Yeah, I didn't even get the reference.
All right, on that note, Danny Kannell is going to join us on the other side. We got more football to talk about with former Florida State and New York Giants quarterback Danny Kannell on the Adam Gold Show next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and the Rangers.
Stalling scores! The captain with his second. We're tied at 2 in Winnipeg.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck Drop at 7.
Oh, with a chance. Follow up, he scores! Talk to me, Shorty! Seth Jarvis! His second shorthanded goal of the year!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. We have something cooking for the Thanksgiving feast. Here's what we got. It's called Pass the Leg. You start a group build, add your pick, pass it along to your friends so they can add theirs. Let's make fun of the guy who does the dumb thing. How about this, though? Bears in Philly, plus 270 on the money line. I don't know what to make of the Philadelphia Eagles. Also don't know what to make of the Bears. Anyway, it's plus 270. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. Happy Thanksgiving. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This holiday, give the gift that celebrates every moment. An Omega watch from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Explore the largest Omega showroom in the area and discover timepieces crafted with Swiss precision and timeless design. Visit Bailey's today in Raleigh's Village District or online at baileybox.com. Voted best place to buy a watch.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf, is Black Friday dealing this week with an additional 15% off all pre-owned clubs. Golf bags starting at $100, apparel starting at $15, golf shoe deals starting at $50, and great savings on GPS watches and rangefinders. Get these special deals and more only at the Global Golf Outlet Store located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
Thanksgiving is a special time to gather with loved ones as we enjoy delicious food and creating lasting memories. Let's take a moment to appreciate each other. Wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving from your friends at 99.9 The Fan and Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is Adam Gold.
Steve Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just move this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
Danny Kannell, thanks to our friends at Bet Online for this Cover 3 podcast. Florida State legend. Hey, you were a Giants legend at quarterback before Jameis Winston was. Did you ever catch a touchdown pass while you were with the Giants?
I did not. That was pretty impressive. My man Jameis has woken up that New York Giants offense. I mean, all of a sudden they've got some life. He's out there dancing.
I know.
He's celebrating. He's done an unbelievable job. I mean, he's one of the more likable guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got a little bit of a checkered past. His name was cleared, and all of a sudden he's like a fan favorite. He's going to have a nice career in broadcast. I got to watch out. He's going to take my job.
Oh, my gosh. Well, he's going to play for a long time, especially since he's clearly got a career as a tight end if the quarterback thing does not work out. I wanted to tap into you as a player before we get into analyzing, you know, games and teams and leagues and all of that, because I've talked about this a lot. I remember a time where we had no playoff. We had just the BCS. We had no 4-team playoff. Now we have 12. We're going to get into the fact that it's probably going to get bigger. But as a player, how would you, like Danny Kannell when he played, how would you be processing the way that the only thing that matters is whether or not you make the playoffs these days? That's the entire focus of the sport, turned to can you make the playoff, when 20 years ago it wasn't about anything like that.
Yeah, I was in a very unique spot because at Florida State, we were playing for the national championship or bust, you know,
Right.
So it was funny because I don't even like admitting this out loud, but last weekend I was in studio with at CBS, and I was sitting there with Brian McFadden. He played at Florida State. Yeah. Damian Harris played at Alabama. And we're watching some game. I won't even out the teams that were playing in it. And you could just tell. I mean, I think they were both like 4-6 and 5 and, you know, like, and I just looked at them and like, I can't imagine getting up for a game with nothing on the line. You know, now there's some of them are, and some of them were playing for a bowl, but it's just like so outside the realm of anything we knew. Like, I don't know what that experience is like, but I do know for a lot of guys, they're playing for the last time of their career. You know, it might be they're playing for a bowl game where they get a trip somewhere. So I think there's just, you know, but for the respect of the teams that are in the top 30, top 40 that are in the mix for the playoff a lot of times, I think that's the coach's biggest challenge right now, is to keep your team together and motivated and working hard for a bowl game, you know, and wherever that bowl destination is. Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach of Missouri, talked about this when his team, ironically, was done. Like, they had their third loss, so they were out.
Right.
And he was the one that said, we need to stop talking about this because, everyone's focused on the playoff and there's still more football left. I almost felt like he was talking to his team. Like, he's saying, oh, no, that's all we've been talking about all year. Now I want to make sure we don't lose out because no one's invested. I do think it's a very real challenge that coaches face now.
Danny Kannell is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Bet Online making this important for us. What do you make of Mike Norvell coming back next year?
Oh, boy. Adam, it has been
wow.
It has been a rough week for Florida State fans.
Sure.
I mean, I like Mike Norvell a lot. And I'll give you the analogy that I gave on Saturday, like when I heard the news. Saturday, so actually I heard the news Sunday, but Saturday we were talking about it because they lost Friday night, right? They lost Friday night. And so Saturday I was like, it feels like to me, there are times when you're watching a quarterback play and on the field, and he has 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions, and you just got to get him out. Like, you just got to bench him, right? It's just like, it's like a mercy. Like, you just don't want to leave him out there to dry because it's only going to get worse. It almost kind of felt like that Saturday morning. Like, I was expecting the other news. And then you get the news that he's coming back on Sunday. And so, I've said all along, like, I'll support Florida State and whatever decision they decide to go, and I will. But my goodness, you talk about a fractured fan base. I would say, I mean, if there was a vote, I mean, it would be 98% would say get him out. So now you're trying to get a fan base that all wants him gone. You're trying to keep them together and keep people giving money and buying season tickets. It's not real great right now in Tallahassee. Now, they desperately need to win against Florida. They desperately need to win their bowl game. And I would say even more importantly, they need to come up with some big recruits for the high school signing day in December. But it's just not great right now in Tallahassee. They need to win bad.
More so than the fan base, how are the board of trustees and those people, how are the Drew Weatherfords of the world, everybody who had such, big picture things to say over the last 8 months and got their way in a court, to avoid a court of law. How are those people processing this?
I think the reality is I just don't think Florida State either had the money, which is probably the reality, or they wanted to try to find the money to fire Mike Norvell and have to pay him $50+ million as a buyout. So I think in those meetings, I'm sure there's been some, they've reviewed some finances, seen if they can make it work. And ultimately they're probably like, we just got to swallow this pill and for one more year, and see if we can, and they're going to make some changes. They said they're going to, the front office, the general manager is a position I think they're looking at, probably bringing in somebody from the NFL, but I mean, it's nothing significant. They just brought in both offensive and defensive coordinators, brand new ones last year. Right. So like, what else can you change? So I know for a fact, though, they've looked at this team. This team is better than the 2-win team. They have shown a lot of improvement. It just hasn't worked out in the win column, which is the most important thing. So like they're selling themselves on this team took a step in the right direction, which of course it did from 2 wins. But, you could look at it that way. Hey, we've gone double our win total from last year. Or you could look at that was one of the worst seasons in history for Florida State, and we're still not to where the standard of what Florida State fans are. And I think that's that's the way you should look at things. This team underachieved, especially based on expectations for what this roster was supposed to do.
Danny Kannell is joining us, CBS Sports Cover 3 podcast, Sirius XM, Bet Online. He's everywhere. How many teams do you think? I know we're going to have a 12-team playoff, and they extended the deadline to come up with a new format. We should just use the current format until they really figure it out. But whatever. How many teams do you think can win the national championship right now?
Oh, I think it's pretty deep. And I'll take it a step further. I think there's a team that's going to get left out that probably could win a national championship.
Really?
Which I think is great. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I think so. Miami is a team that I think could win the national championship if they get hot and Carson Beck doesn't throw interceptions. Their offensive and defensive line are good enough to win a championship. Now, I think they might get left out. So I think that's one team. I think Vanderbilt is a team that nobody wants to see. And I think they potentially – I see the thing about Vanderbilt, I don't know if they have the depth that even Miami does. But if you just start – so that's it. I'm looking at the AP right now at 12-13. But I would say – and I think they're probably teams on the outside. I probably feel more conviction in Miami. But I think Alabama could win it. I think Notre Dame could win it. I think Oklahoma could do it. I know their offense has been atrocious, but if they fix that. So, like everybody else from then on, Oregon can, Texas Tech, I think they can. Georgia, A&M, Indiana, Ohio State. So I think we're 10 deep of teams that could win it.
All right, so let me dig down on Miami for a second because I have a theory about what I think is going to happen. Miami's almost definitely not going to be in the ACC championship game. I do believe all the planets must be in alignment, and I think it's going to be like when you were a kid and you were trying to steal cable. You need to get the tinfoil thing working just well enough so you can watch Lady Emmanuel at 2 o'clock in the morning on HBO. But here's what I don't know why I brought that up. It may have happened in my life. But they're the best team in the ACC, right?
Yes, I do think SMU is a very close second.
Okay,
but they're the best roster for sure.
Okay, so if the committee determines that Miami is the best team in the ACC, and they will need to go to Pittsburgh and win that game maybe more comfortably than they have won many other season-ending games. But if Miami does that and they determine that Miami is the best team in the league, what would stop the committee from saying, you know what, we don't think your champion is all that great, so we're going to put the American in, we're going to put JMU in, and Miami as an at-large team? What would stop them from doing that?
The rules that are in place right now. But I think the scenario that you laid out is why that might be a tweak that is made even for this, next, because I think we're going to get one more year of 12 teams.
Right.
And I think they might say, we're just going to go with the 12 best teams. Like no conference champs, just the 12 best teams, which makes me nervous for the ACC.
Right.
Because who knows if they would even get it in there. But the way it is that, the 5 conference champions are the highest ranked teams that would. So there's the 5 conference champions would be guaranteed a spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you couldn't supersede that this year if you were the committee, even though they could say, what are we doing? Miami's ranked way higher than SMU, who's at 25 right now. Georgia Tech's at 23. So the highest those teams could go if Miami wins isn't even close. But remember last year how optically weird it was where Clemson was ranked like 15th and yet they got in. And so I think that's what changes the next year. I think they'll be like, wait a second, why would we put in these lower ranked ACC teams when we all think Miami's the better football team? Now, the only issue you get in with that is that Miami did lose to SMU.
Yeah.
And I know SMU had another loss, but 2 of them were to Big 12 teams. Like, that's where the thing I think gets a little bit tricky. And I actually think SMU is good. I think if they win the ACC, which they control their own destiny to get to the ACC title, I do think they would beat Virginia if that's who they play. I think they're better than they were last year. I think they would represent the ACC better. And then, of course, the best case scenario for the ACC is if SMU is in and Miami somehow sneaks in. If they get the help they need, which I don't know, they need some help. They need Oklahoma to lose to LSU. They need Bama to lose to Auburn, which I don't think is that crazy. That's one I would keep my eyes on. Oregon's got a tricky game against Washington, but I think Oregon is safe. Like Georgia Tech, that's one that I don't know if Georgia could lose. So they need some help. But if Miami and SMU both got in from the ACC, my goodness, that would be a gift from the heavens to Jim Phillips.
It absolutely would. Look, I thought Miami got
I don't know if they got hosed by not being in it last year, and I know we have to wrap up here, but I think they got hosed by
they
not
need
being
to get considered.
Right, that's
which
the thing.
Was a joke.
They got hosed by not being part of the conversation. 2 losses, one to a team that should have beaten Georgia, blew the game, and the other to a 10-win Syracuse team, where, yes, they blew a big lead in the fourth quarter. But how you lose shouldn't matter as much as who did you lose to. And that's the other thing I wanted to ask as we really have to wrap up. Why do they keep talking about who you lost to versus who you beat? Because if you beat good teams, and Miami objectively has wins over some good teams, including Notre Dame, aren't those the teams you're more likely to face in the college football playoff than a team you lost to that is unranked?
Correct. Yes. I think if you stack up Miami's resume against Notre Dame, they are similar. And if that is the case, it is very clear-cut. The committee's criteria says if you have similar resumes, you should honor head-to-head. And that's why I wonder if Miami could somehow get close enough to Notre Dame. But here's the thing. I don't know if the committee would be willing to do that to Notre Dame after we've already seen them in there 3 weeks, probably 4 tonight, where they're just significantly higher ranked. Are they willing to take that stand? Now, they could say, you know what, we finally – and if Miami beats Pitt, maybe that's what they're looking for. All right, that closes the gap in resumes. And then all of a sudden they're right even resumes. Bam, we're going to jump Miami. I'll just be surprised if it happens. I think it should. I don't think Miami ever should have been this far apart from Notre Dame in the first place. But here they are. But I do think if they're looking at those resumes together, I don't see how you give Notre Dame the edge over Miami when we saw that game happen in Miami.
Danny Kannell, what I've been saying for weeks now, an ACC win is not as important, is not as good as an SEC or a Big Ten loss. You can take that, tell all your friends, and you can claim it as your own. You are the best. Danny Kannell, Sirius XM, CBS Sports, Cover 3 Podcast, everywhere. Bet online. Appreciate your time, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'll talk to you soon.
Adam, you have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy all the games this weekend. We'll talk soon.
Love catching up with Danny Kannell, who apparently has just been on TV with Chip Patterson for the last hour. We got a lot of stuff to do, Max Gorn. You know what we got to do? We got to make sure that people survive another week. It is time for this week's HOBAG selection, Survivor Pool style, for those people who have not been following along. Circa Sports in Vegas, at the beginning of the season, started a Survivor Pool. $1,000 buy-in. Imagine $1,000 buy-in, and you can enter as many as 10 times. No joke. Winner, $18.7 million. Yeah. Right? Now, chances are, like, the last group are going to go out at the same time. So you'll get a share, however deep that is. And right now there's about a little over 900 people still alive after 18-point-something million started.
I think it's exactly 900 people left.
Is it exactly 900? All right. So here we go. We have a system. And the system is you got to be able to kind of whittle down the choices, sometimes take emotion out of it. So I have developed the HOBAG system for you to win your Survivor Pool, and we're still in survival mode. Home teams only. That's the H. Don't take a team on the road. They'll do a Buffalo thing. Lose at Miami. Lose at Atlanta. Don't do a Buffalo. Out of division games. This is the one you can fudge a little bit more than any of the other rules, but division games are just goofy. Too much familiarity. They routinely win, and even if it's a different set of players, they routinely win on the other team's field. Like, stay away from it if you can. The betting lines will tell you what Vegas thinks. So this is one that you really need to stay kind of close to. Look at the higher spreads
Choose from those games. Let the betting lines guide you. Avoid saving teams. Max, what happens when you save a team?
You won't be left. You won't be able to use them because
exactly.
You'll be out.
You just don't.
They won't be there for you to save.
No saving.
Or you won't be there to save for them to save
right.
you. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Avoid saving teams. And this is, all things are relative, good teams only. Picking a bad team to win, they're bad for a reason. I'm just saying, you got to really tread lightly. So, H, home teams only. O, out of division games. 3, betting lines will guide you. 4, avoid saving teams. 5, good teams only. HOBAG. Here we go. We've used Denver, Arizona, Seattle, Buffalo, Indianapolis, Green Bay, Chicago, Kansas City, the Rams, the Chargers, New England, Detroit. Had it all the way. I did feel good going against the Giants because the Giants blow double-digit leads like it's part of the game plan. So that was wild. Glad I didn't actually have a $1,000 entry on that game. All right, so here we go. Your HOBAG choices for the weekend, and there's not a ton. There just aren't a ton. And remember, what Circus Sports does is that the Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday games are a separate week. So we've got 4 games to choose from. Packers at the Lions. I can't take Detroit, and I've also taken Green Bay. I don't even have to think about it. Chiefs and Cowboys. Can't take the Chiefs, could take the Cowboys, but why would I? Bengals at the Ravens. We'll circle back because I have both teams available there. Bears at Eagles. Oh, that's a weird game anyway. Going to stay away from it, even though Philadelphia is a 7-point favorite. And if I am not mistaken, Philadelphia is available to me. But I think the Bears are going to win that game, even though they haven't beaten anybody.
That's where you and I disagree.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, you're probably right. I have watched too much Eagles football.
Oh, it hasn't been pretty.
To be
Definitely
confident that that team is going to beat anybody. And I think the Bears are offensively legitimately good. And I think that'll be because the Eagles' offense has not been great. So, your HOBAG pick. We're going to buck the division games for only the second time in 13 picks. And we are going to take the Ravens at home against the Bengals. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to play. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he is.
He is going to play. Whatever. The Ravens have to win. They've got to win that game. Cincinnati, I mean, theoretically could still win the division.
Yeah, I believe Joe Burrow will play on Thursday.
Oh, that's even better. That should be a lot of fun. I'm going with the Ravens because I don't trust the Eagles. I don't. So we're going to go Ravens to beat the Bengals in this portion of Week 13. But we got to give you 2 picks. And so here we go with the rest of the week. 49ers at the Browns. Love to take the 49ers, but they're on the road. By the way, they lost in Cleveland last year. San Francisco. Jaguars and Titans. I don't like the Jaguars. And they're on the road. Not doing it. Texans at the Colts. Yeah, no. Anyway, I've taken the Colts anyway, so we're not doing that. Saints. Maybe I might not have. Saints at the Dolphins. Huh? Circle back to it. Miami's a 6-point favorite. Falcons at Jets. Gosh, no. Cardinals at Buccaneers. Teddy Bridgewater is going to get pretty much all the reps, but they're saying that Baker Mayfield might play. Might play. Rams at the Panthers. Moving on. Vikings at the Seahawks. Have already taken Seattle. Bills at Steelers. Whatever. Raiders at Chargers. Have already taken the Chargers. Broncos at Commanders. Denver's a 6-point favorite, but no, we're not doing that. So hopefully we have survived the holiday. We'll see. And I know they're not good, but I think they're better than the Saints. And this will be the 5th time we will go against New Orleans and we will take the Miami Dolphins on Sunday as 6-point favorites at home at Hard Rock. I don't know. I don't feel great about either one. I felt great, though, about the Lions. We saw how that turned out. I mean, we survived. That's all you can do in a survivor pool is survive. So we'll see. Max, you don't like the Ravens pick, do you?
No, I like the Ravens pick.
Oh, okay.
I think they are going to win. I just disagree on Eagles and Bears, but I think the Ravens are a good pick. But I just think the Eagles will win that game. But again, I'm on board with picking. If it is Joe Burrow, like he's coming back from 8 weeks off or whatever it is, coming off an injury. So, and Baltimore's been rolling, even though Lamar Jackson hasn't really been doing great. And you can tell that from my fantasy scores the last couple of weeks. I have managed to squeak some wins, but he's no thanks to him the last couple of weeks. So
yeah, their defense just isn't great. That's what worries me about
it's really
this game.
Bounced back though. Like early in the year, they were banged up too. They've really improved and gotten some guys healthy. So it's been a lot better for the Ravens defense as of late. That's why they've won 5 in a row.
They have won 5 in a row. It started with a win over the Bears. They won in Miami. They won at Minnesota. They won at Cleveland, and then they beat the Jets, which that still counts, right? As an NFL
It's not
win?
exactly a murderer's row right there, but hey, a win is a win.
No, I mean, but 3 of them on the road, that's significant. I mean, I don't care who you play, winning on the road in the NFL, that you get something for that. And honestly, the division is in front of them, and they got to win because here's why I say they have to win this game. This is their remaining schedule, the Ravens. Cincinnati, home against the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are great, but that's a legit rivalry game, and you just don't know what's going to happen there. Then they are at Cincinnati, home against the Patriots, at the Packers, at the Steelers. There just aren't many games that they can say, yep, we're going to win that one. They've got to win this one. Remember, they're just one game over 500. I don't know. Maybe somebody's going to win that division at 10-7, or maybe you're going to be 9-8 and win a tiebreak. But I think the Ravens have to win. All right. When we come back, we will stretch and we will place bets ahead of a long holiday weekend next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Scams increase during the Medicare open enrollment period, so stay alert. Never give your Medicare, Social Security, credit card, or bank account numbers to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly and claims to be from Medicare. Your caller ID may show Medicare's name or phone, but caller ID can be spoofed. Just hang up. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here. But don't worry, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Agriculture drives our local economy. I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University, and we are looking for our next generation of leaders. If you want to make a difference and help feed the world, join us at the Ag Institute, where we grow successful graduates, productive futures, and rewarding lifestyles. We offer 2-year degrees and hundreds of internships. Learn more online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
Sometimes the simplest steps make the biggest difference.
washing your hands often, staying home when you're sick, and talking with your health provider about vaccines.
Help keep your family protected against the flu, RSV, and COVID. Simple steps, big protection.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
Hello, I'm Steve Troxler, North Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture. Farming's tough, but you're not alone. That's why the North Carolina Agri-Medicine Institute offers the North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. Long hours, difficult decisions, and unexpected challenges can add up. Whether you need to talk to a counselor who understands farming or help with finances, legal questions, or farm safety, call 844-325-3276. That's 844-325-3276, the North Carolina Farm Helpline, a free 24/7 resource for the agriculture community. 844-325-3276, because no one should face farm life alone.
This is Adam Gold.
The American Cornhole League. I don't know if you can wager on it. Let me go to FanDuel and find out if you can wager on it.
I think I read you can get a scholarship. Kids in high school can actually get scholarships for cornholing. Who knows? I don't know what the technical term
I'm just not going to say anything.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Max Gorn producing the program. What are we listening to, sir?
That would be the Champions League theme right there.
Oh, it's why don't I recognize that? Maybe because Liverpool sucks lately. Speaking of which,
City lost 2 yesterday. So
at home to Leverkusen, that was a surprise. 2-0. Did Pep just not care?
I feel like he's given up since last year.
Given up?
The dynasty run is over.
So you can only have it's only good if it's a dynasty? Is anybody going to challenge Arsenal?
It doesn't look like
No. Arsenal.
Season's over in November. What a great league they've got.
Arsenal's going to run away and hide is my guess. But look, you guys beat us a few weeks ago. We were together the day before that match. It's been no good for Liverpool.
I didn't even know what was going on. That's how checked out I am on City right now.
I'm not checked out. I'm definitely paying attention. It's been very disappointing for the reigning champions. That's all I got. Like, at least we have a title in the immediate, rear view mirror. That's what I got. All right. Are you ready to stretch?
All right, so I got something here for, people who maybe they have to work, maybe they're not able to go home for whatever reason, or maybe you just don't like to cook on Thanksgiving, right? Maybe you just don't want to do all the prep and make all the various dishes. Well, Mark Bergen at WRAL, if you go on WRAL.com, has actually compiled a list of restaurants in the Triangle that are open on Thanksgiving Day. So tomorrow, if for whatever reason can't go home, not with family, don't want to cook whatever it is, there's a pretty substantial list of places. Actually, I was pretty surprised how many are open on Thanksgiving Day. One of my personal favorites is, I don't know if you've ever been to Time Out in Chapel Hill.
Yes.
The place is open 24/7, 365. I think one night when my brother was living in Carborough, or maybe he was still at Chapel Hill, but we went there it was like Thanksgiving night or Christmas Day or something, and they were open and we got a meal there. So it's a pretty substantial list. So if you're looking for somewhere to eat on Thanksgiving, go check out the list, WRAL.com. Surprising amount of options for places to go and get a hot meal on Thanksgiving if you can't get together and have one at home. Yeah. Always good to have options.
Options are always good.
All right, and then with the final 2.5 minutes here, we will place our bets as well.
Place your bets. Do you? I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
Before we begin wagering, Max, I have at least twice, maybe more, today said that Ole Miss, Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl, was tomorrow night. It is Friday at noon.
It is usually on Thanksgiving, though. I think you're right about that.
I have no idea if I'm right or wrong about that, but it's not. It is Friday. So I apologize to all those who were setting their calendars based on that.
For the Egg Bowl.
There you go.
All right, I'll lead off with it's rivalry week, college football. I'm going to the Iron Bowl. Alabama is only a 5.5-point favorite over Auburn, who has fired their coach. Is not very good. Bama probably wants to put some style points on the board in a win as they're kind of teetering towards the cut line. I'm sure they'll probably get in, but I will take Bama minus 5.5. That's minus 118.
All right, we're going to go. When we talk about ACC football, Max, what is the most likely thing to happen?
The team will lose, and it will hurt the conference.
What the ACC does not want to happen is what is likely going to happen. Therefore, lock of the century. Pitt beats Miami. Money line is plus 210. Yeah, you can feel that about to happen, can't
you?
That
happened in, 2017? Miami was going to Pitt, and they were 11-0.
Yeah.
And then they dropped one that they really didn't need to lose. And then they lost, I think, in the ACC championship game as well.
No team, no school in the ACC ruins the fun more than Pitt.
All right, I'm going with a Raleigh parlay here. Hurricanes and NC State both to win tonight. If you put that together, it's plus 133. And then in the Canes game as well, I'll go with an Eric Robinson anytime goal. It's plus 800.
Eric Robinson anytime goal. Like it.
It's just value there.
It's tremendous value there. All right, I am also going with a triangle parlay. But Saturday, 2 road wins. Wake at Duke. I love Todd Pelino. I feel bad about I think Wake's going to beat Duke. And a crazy upset because there's no way State loses to Carolina, right? Except they're going to lose to Carolina. Parlay those plus 583. It should be a fun weekend, though. I can't wait to watch it. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
99.9 The Fan is partnering with the Salvation Army of Wake County for Team Up to Give.
We cheer together, we celebrate together.
And when our neighbors are struggling, we step up together.
Across Wake County, more of our neighbors continue to face nights without a safe place to sleep.
Your gift could be the one that turns the tide for a family in crisis.
So team up with us. Together we can make sure no one is forgotten. Team up, give hope, change lives.
Text GIVE to 919-860-5326 or go to teamuptogive.com to donate.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd. To the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Time to Be Bold is helping people 55 and older like you with low vision regain your independence. Go to timetobebold.org for a list of services in your state that will give you the tools and support you need to live your bold best life. Go to timetobebold.org today.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Everybody ready? Here's the snap. Another handoff running to the left, cuts back right. Such good vision, and now Shepard's back to the left, still on his feet, going through everybody into the secondary to the Tar Heel 45-yard line. My goodness, what a run!
How does he do it? How does he do that? Phenomenal vision, great power to get through the contact. Nate Shepard is a freak.
But he's no Todd Pelino. It's the Adam Gold Show. Hope all is well. I am Adam Gold, Max Gorin on the ones and twos. That was the Duke Radio Network. We'll hear a lot of that, hopefully on Monday. We've got... It's a great way to end the season. I love the last couple of weeks of college football because it's just chock full of rivalries. Carolina and Duke played last week. We got Carolina and State this weekend. We've got Duke and Wake this weekend. You've got Ohio State, Michigan. I actually, we didn't get to it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan won that game.
No, they've had Ohio State's number recently.
They absolutely have, and Ohio State doesn't need it. I think Ohio State's in the Big Ten title game anyway, and it doesn't really matter. Ohio State's a playoff team. We know they're going to be in the playoff. And frankly, you can make the argument that you don't want the bye in college football. You can make that argument.
All the teams with the bye lost last year.
4 for 4. And again, because there's a fair amount of time off, right? That you'd rather play a game, especially against a lesser opponent. So if Ohio State somehow fell to 5, you'd get warmed up against the 12?
It's almost like they could have had a system where it's an even number of teams so you don't need a bye week. Like, what if there was stay with me here. What if there was a playoff where it was just like the 4 best teams and then they just played each other in a semifinal and the 2 went to the final anyway? Or even
Have
8.
they tried that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure they've tried that.
I'm surprised. Why did they skip over 8, man? They could have just gone to 8. We didn't need 12. Is the 11 seed ever going to win the national championship? No.
Probably not.
SMU got killed in the first game last year.
We basically had 4 blowouts. Here's the thing. I was not in favor of anything beyond 4. If you go back to the BCS, I'm pretty sure that there are very few people who argued more vociferously than I did to stay at 2. The only reason to go to 4, my opinion, was that you could have a year with 3 major conference unbeatens, in which case the only fair thing to do, granted college football is anything but fair. It's not. We live it out every year. It's not a fair fight. But if we were being fair to the power leagues, the only way to handle 3 major conference unbeatens was to have a 4-team playoff.
Or they could get real tricky with it and do like a round robin.
Yeah, but
that'd be fun.
You could. The last time we had 3 major conference unbeatens in that 2-team era, which became a 4-team era, the teams were Southern Cal, Oklahoma, and Auburn. And don't you know it was the SEC team that got left out? Southern Cal and Oklahoma met in the national championship game, and I'm fairly certain that Southern Cal is still scoring points in that game. By the way, the SEC went on a run after that where they won the national championship every year until Clemson won it. It was just, and it was different teams a lot. I know it was a lot of Alabama, but they had LSU in there. I mean, they were rolling. Florida won twice under Urban Meyer. Anyway, my larger point is 4 solves the one actual problem, which is if you go undefeated in a major conference, you deserve the right to play for the national championship. Unless you're Florida State. That's the only time it doesn't matter, is when you're Florida State. I will argue that for eternity. And it was the PR campaign that ensued 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago. The PR campaign that ensued during the game during the ACC championship game. Florida State went to Florida with their backup quarterback and won. Then with their third-string quarterback, because the backup had a concussion, which was not going to be season-ending, and won that ACC championship game on the broadcast. All they did was trash Florida State. All they did. Forget about the fact that the defense was there. Got me going, got me on a rant. Anyway, we should just do the wall of sound.
The wall of sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
All right. Let's do a little hockey first, then we'll do a little football. We in the roundtable, it's all Hurricanes coming up. Yesterday, Rod Brindamore met the assembled media. Remember, in Winnipeg last week, Alexander Nikishin was a healthy extra, and boy, did Canes Twitter love that. Kidding. How did he handle it?
It's been a little bit of a challenge. I think, too, again, there is a language barrier. He's done a nice job of understanding English, but it's still, there's no possible way you could be really comfortable in what's been going on. That's why we work with him every day and show him the clips. And, I think it's going to all come together, but we just got to, it doesn't hurt to give a night or two off here or there, and especially, I don't think he's played in this type of environment, this many games. We're playing 4, sometimes games a week. It's a lot to take in.
You impressed with the work ethic, attitude, and all that, though?
Well, I think that's part of it. He's got there's a different level of, work ethic that needs to be out there in the NHL game. I mean, I think that's just learning that out. It's every shift, every second of every shift. These are all learning things that he's going to, once he picks up, I think you're going to see just a huge, not even so much in maturation in his game, but that's the easy stuff to do. The stuff he has, we can't really teach. The poise with the puck and the offensive stance, so we can definitely teach him the other stuff.
All right, let's get to Keandre Miller, who I talked to today about playing against the Rangers, his old team. Remember, he spent the first part of his career in New York. And now, after not playing in New York when Carolina went up there 2.5, 3 weeks ago, he is, even though he was banged up and missed practice yesterday, is he ready to go tonight?
I'm really excited. I had a good practice this morning. Felt good and excited to give it a go tonight.
What kind of emotions think you're running through you?
Honestly, a lot, but I'm just trying to focus on hockey. I mean, this is the same game I've played since I've been 2, so nothing changes in terms of preparation and things like that. So
You played in this game on the other side, but it's a great atmosphere for Rangers games here. Yeah. All those guys in the corner, you've seen them when you played here, with the Rangers. What's your anticipation about the way the building's going to be tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Obviously, I've seen it kind of from both sides now, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. I think it's going to be an emotional game, but just looking forward to having a good competitive game.
Last 12 games or so, seems like you guys have really gotten to your game. Yeah. Possessing the puck, hemming them in.
Right.
How does that feel?
It's been good. Obviously you want to do that on a nightly basis. I mean, that's, I think, the end goal. Have that momentum to give yourself a chance to win every night, and I think we've done that. We've put ourselves in a pretty good position here to start the year, and I think tonight's another great opportunity to keep that ball rolling.
You like a 7-game homestand? Is that good?
It's a little bit different, but I'm excited for it. Obviously, I haven't been home. We've had a number of road trips this year, so it'll be good to have a good homestand.
Thanksgiving plans? Do we know where everybody's going tomorrow?
Kind of spread out. I don't know. There should be a couple different dinners tomorrow, so I'm excited.
It's very cool. All right, we have a 7-game homestand starting tonight against the Rangers. All right, to a little bit of football before we break and we get back to more hockey on the other side of the roundtable. Peter Burns, ESPN Radio, SEC Network, on the dilemma if Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss.
What will the committee do, or what should they do if he decides after this weekend, after the Egg Bowl on Saturday, he says, hey, I'm going to Florida or I'm going to LSU or whatever he decides. And I don't think that the committee by any means should sit there and fault Ole Miss and that team and that resume, especially if they end up winning the Egg Bowl. But even if they lose the Egg Bowl, I think they're good enough to still get them to the college football playoff. And the thing is, in Jordan Travis' year, when the FSU quarterback got injured, we saw at least one game, if not 2 games, at the end of the season where they clearly were not the same FSU team. You won't be able to say that if Lane Kiffin decides to leave Ole Miss and go somewhere else and de facto claim what would Ole Miss be without their head coach. You can't. Mm-hmm. You're projecting at that point, not seeing like we saw with Jordan Travis at FSU.
Except they won both of those games because they had great defense and put a whole slew of guys in the NFL. Other than that part, by all means, let's just pretend that we know what's going to happen. Here's Peter Burns saying, if Notre Dame and Miami are comparable, how?
I know. I saw 70-7 with my own eyes. They looked incredible, right? And they've looked great. But at some point, you got to go, I just can't, in good faith, sit there and go, they have the same amount of losses. And I saw them, with my own eyes, play a football game, and Miami won. So, again, I understand why people are fired up, and rightfully so.
So, my whole point, remember, college football is the sport that gave us, we're going to settle it on the field. That's the whole reason for the playoff. And no sport continually doesn't settle it on the field like college football. No sport ignores what happens on the field quite like college football. It's fine. I think they're both playoff teams, to be perfectly honest. Notre Dame is. I think Miami is as well. I'd love to see somehow Miami get in over even the ACC champ. When we come back, in the roundtable, we're going to talk hockey with Corey Lavalette, North State Journal, and The Athletic, and Ryan Henkel, Hockey News. Next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. The ACC, the SEC, the biggest matchups will be found here.
And it's time to ring that bell. The Blue Devils have beaten the Tar Heels 32-25, and here they come. Let's hear that glorious noise here in Chapel Hill.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Come see Atlantic Spas and Billiards' brand new showroom. More wellness to experience with state-of-the-art Tilo saunas to see, more hot spring and Caldera hot tubs to sit in, and a full-service billiard and dart pro shop. Shop for awesome holiday gift ideas from grills to game tables. Outdoor recreation takes center stage with ping pong, foosball, pool tables, and more. Remodeling floor models and demos available for great pricing. Shop now and experience the beautiful brand new showroom, Atlantic Spas and Billiards, Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, AtlanticSBNC.com.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas, but sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm back with Coach Pete. There is something coming to Capital Financial Advisory Group involving crypto and how you can be involved, but it's super hush-hush right now. Coach, can you tell us anything else?
Well, let's just say this. So many people have been burnt trying to play crypto. They believe something they see on the internet. They try to put their money somewhere and it disappears. So if we could have professional money management around crypto where you wouldn't have to worry about your money disappearing through unscrupulous means, then this may be a fit for you to get the power of crypto without the risk of having bad things happen. Now, investments can go up and down, but you don't have to worry about your money disappearing for no apparent reason. So get on the list for when we have our original kickoff. We're going to do an event at the main office about the crypto managed accounts. So, Amanda, I guess you can just have people text now if they want to get on the waiting list for this great new invention that's coming.
Yes. Text Amanda to 600-700. Text Amanda to 600-700 and tell them you want to be on the wait list.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN is a nonprofit that has helped me literally change the lives of people in my community through the Donated Dental Services program. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need each year. If you're a dentist or know a dentist, please share this information. Like me, they can make a real difference in someone's life. DLN makes it easy.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more. That's willyouseeone.org.
This is Adam Gold.
We're going to have Seth on the show next week when he gets back from vacation. He was by a pool.
What are you doing? Get off Twitter. It's nicer to be on Twitter when you're by a pool anyway.
No, just stop engaging with people.
The Adam Gold Show.
Man, this is fun. It is Roundtable time. Normally we do it on a Friday, but what's the difference? We're not here tomorrow and Friday live. We'll have best of programs. You might hear this again on Friday. The way I think we've laid it all out. It is Roundtable time. Hurricanes and the Rangers tonight. Hurricanes and the Jets on Friday, late afternoon, 5 o'clock start there. And joining me for this Wednesday/Friday Roundtable. That's an interesting picture we've got part of Corey Lavalette, North State Journal and The Athletic, and part of Ryan Henkel, Hockey News. Oh, amazing. All right, well, we're going to make it work. I appreciate your senses of humor. All right, let's first of all, thank you guys for doing this, and I will see you in just a little bit. Hurricanes are 14-6-2 through 22 games. They have the best record in the Eastern Conference at 30 points. 40-plus man games lost just on the blue line. They have below league average goaltending in terms of save percentage. They have the worst special teams in the Rod Brindamore era, combined power play and penalty kill. Penalty kill has been surprisingly poor. So I will start with you, Corey. How are they 14-6-2 and leading the division?
It's a deep organization, right? I mean, we've learned where we were even last year at the end of the year on defense with the injuries they ended up having in the postseason and the guys they had to turn to. What a difference just a few months makes. The addition of Mike Riley, having Alexander Nikishin in the fold and able to, actually kind of know what's going on a little bit. All of that is, a huge reason why they don't survive all this without a really deep defense. And then up front, they're stacked. I mean, their fourth line's got a former Hart Trophy winner on it. It's got a former number 2 overall pick. And it's got a guy who just seems like all he can do is score in the first 2 months of every season. So just incredible depth all around has been, the hallmark of this team so far.
Ryan, you can answer the same question right there.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the same things that Corey would say. The depth has just been tremendous for this team, from finding Brandon Bussey on the waiver wire, losing Kane Primo, and all of a sudden ending up with Brandon Bussey, who's been an outstanding goaltender for them. I mean, I feel like that plays a huge part too. And like you said, just the depth. I mean, all the rookies that have had to step up on the blue line, and then, for the forwards line, it's it seems like every night there's a different line sort of stepping up, whether it's the Jordan Stahl line, the new Stankoven Blake Ehlers line, obviously the Aho Jarvis special line, or that fourth line that Corey talked about. I mean, every night feels like someone else is helping pull the rope, and that depth is really kind of what has allowed them to be as successful as they are.
All right, I want to dig into the Ehlers, Stankoven, Blake, because in years past, and we have Ryan Henkel of Hockey News and Corey Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal. In years past, the Hurricanes have been among the best face-off teams in the league, and that is not the case this year. Part of that they knew would be a problem because Logan Stankoven's going to have to take a lot of face-offs, centering, a second scoring line. We'll just call it that. Although I think for the most part they've been kind of a third line for Carolina. And he's getting abused in the face-off circle as we expected. Sebastian Aho is not doing a great job for that as well, but. Just about Stankoven, Blake, and now Ehlers. Ryan, are you at all surprised at, more often than not, that they have been, like, a lot of times dominant when it comes to chance creation for them?
Not really that surprised, because Stankoven and Blake are two of the biggest puck hounds I've ever seen in the NHL. Despite being, sometimes might be confused as Mighty Mites on the ice, like these guys just win puck battles like no one else. They go into the boards, go into the corners, and they're coming away with that puck 9 times out of 10 against even, you have Tyler Myers out there, 9'7", 6'7" of them, and these guys are running around grabbing these pucks off of them. And then you get a guy like Ehlers who could just see the ice so well. He can skate so well, and he can just wind up anywhere in the zone when these two are just working their way. Grabbing pucks, and he can grab it and he can dish it to a defenseman coming in, activating. He can dish it to one of these guys in front of the net. I think there's a lot of chemistry. These guys are a lot connecting, and Stankoven and Blake are really good friends off the ice too. So there's a lot is going into this kind of gelling, and I think I'm not surprised at all of how well and how successful they've been.
Corey.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's most encouraging about this is, making lines isn't so much about finding 3 guys that work together. It's about finding 2 guys who work together. And Stankoven and Blake are, like Ryan said, just read off of each other so well. They're both similar in their doggedness. Um, Jackson Blake has the kind of like puck on a string kind of ability that we haven't seen since Jeff Skinner. But with, as mentioned, just an absolute puck hound. And then you have Aho and Jarvis, who Aho has said in the past, that's who he feels like his guy is.
Yeah.
So you sign Ehlers and you don't feel like he has to play on the top line because you can move things around. If you're putting pairs together, usually that third piece, certainly if you can get three guys that are glued together like the Jordan Stahl, Jordan Martin, William Carrier line, that's excellent. But even right now, if Rod things get a little stale, if he's got to move things around, he knows he has two pairs on his top two lines that just know each other forward and backward already. And it's really impressive in the case of Stankoven and Blake because they haven't played together that much.
No, those two guys, I mean, I think I could play with Stankoven and Blake. And here's the thing, because it's not just, we have...
You'd fit in.
They do.
You would fit in.
Just from being
That's a short
the
joke.
size. It's very good. I'm trying to think. I don't think I'm taller than Stankoven. Blake is...
No, I think
Jackson
you are.
Blake... I don't know. Jackson Blake towers over me. Here, the funny thing is that it's... Right now, Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis have played well together. Obviously, Ehlers, Blake, and Stankoven have played well together. But I've also seen Taylor Hall play with both groups and play well. And we know for short stretches, you can put, a healthy Jordan Martinook and you can activate him up just to change the look and change the way the line plays. They've done that with Eric Robinson. So they've got options. And when Andrei Svechnikov wasn't playing well, the options were gone. And when they didn't have Carrier and Robinson in the lineup, there were really no options for Rod, but he's got more options now. And I think, the two lines that we see in their top two scoring lines are going to stay together until it clearly doesn't work, but he's got more options. Let me ask you this, though, because we spent most of the offseason, thinking that Carolina needs this, they need another center, they need a right shot defenseman, all of that. But speaking to the forwards, is there still room for another top six center in the mix, Ryan?
I think there's always room for it. I think you can never, I think Eric Tulsky has the best motto when it comes to this sort of thing is that until we have, the 18, 20 best skaters in the entire league on our roster, we're never going to be satisfied. I think that's just a really good approach. I mean, for as good as Stankoven has been with Blake, could you get a veteran center, better faceoff guy? Sure. If you can find a guy who's, more productive and more, has a better track record, then sure. And then you can have Stankoven and Blake on, either wing potentially. And you can keep those pairs like Corey said. I think this team it's an organization, a team that's never going to be satisfied with where they are, kind of too content to move forward. Do I like what Stankoven, Blake, and Ehlers have accomplished? Do I like Stankoven as a 2C? I think he's showing a lot of promise. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted to go get another guy, provide that more depth down the middle and, just have that option, especially what is said, if the faceoff numbers can continue to be kind of weak, then I don't see why you couldn't explore that.
Corey?
And you know what? You have Blake and Stankoven signed combined
forever
at an amount that pretty much any top six forward is going to, want with the direction things are going in the NHL with the salary cap. So, there was a lot of balking about particularly Jackson Blake's deal, and him and Frank Nazar got mentioned a lot as here's two guys who played a year in the NHL, never even, did time in the AHL, and you're giving them 8-year deals and giving them, $40 million. Those deals are going to, for both those guys and for Stankoven too, are going to look, really, really good for a long time, unless something stupid happens like an injury or something. Right. But I mean, I think, I was going to give the same Eric Tulsky speech that Ryan gave. We know what Eric's like. They are in on everything. They may not be serious about everything. If Evander Kane, Evander Kane's available right now. Vancouver's ready to sell. I don't think there's a really deep, long conversation about bringing Evander Kane to Raleigh because I don't think he fits, the locker room there.
Right.
But yeah, so I think that's the thing that I think is really impressive about not just what Eric has done, but also just Tom Dundon's mentality of he expects whoever's in that big chair, whether it was Don Waddell or Eric Tulsky to, hey, why didn't, hey, that guy got traded. Why didn't we look into this? So they have to be proactive on everything because that's what the owner expects.
Yeah, and they have looked into just about everything. They haven't always pulled it off. They pulled off the Rantanen trade, and then ultimately they pivoted, and we see what we have now. But they were in on who was it? They were in on Meyer. They were in on was it Horvat? I think they're in
Kachuk.
on Kachuk, right. They're in on basically everyone.
Eichel, yeah, all of them.
Just depends on whether or not they have the assets to pull something off. So real quick, we have a few more minutes left, but if they were going to be in on somebody, and we're going to have to play this, we're going to have an imaginary player here because who knows who that player might be. What assets do you think Carolina would be comfortable moving out to bring a significant piece in, Corey?
I mean, I think anything's on the table. They're not going to trade Sebastian Aho. They're not going to trade Seth Jarvis. They're not going to trade Jacob Slavin. But beyond that, I mean, you look at the rest of the roster, and is anybody else, irreplaceable? I mean, imagine the value Ajax and Blake would have to another team. It makes it so you're not giving up a ton of assets. That said, I don't think the Hurricanes are shopping Jackson Blake or being like, let's find.
Yeah, but they're shopping Andrei Svechnikov, apparently.
They've got
kidding.
Yeah, right. They've got to be giddy with the situation they're in because they have cap space, they have assets, they have surplus first round picks. They've got a 30-goal scorer sitting in the AHL who can't find his way into the lineup yet.
Right.
And everybody's signed too. There's one player or two players who are going to be not signed after this year, 3 if we count Brandon Bussey, and that's Frederick Anderson and Alexander Nikishin. And beyond that, we could Mike Riley, whatever. But among the guys who are playing every night, everybody's signed beyond this year. So they have, they can also offer up term to other teams if that's what their teams want. If other teams want young assets, hey, we've got those too. Look at all these young defensemen we have all of a sudden. It's pretty impressive. Joel Nystrom, I mean, what a find that kid's been so far as a 7th round pick. And he just got to North America, within the last calendar year.
Yeah,
insane.
Played seven North American games last year. Ryan, same question before I ask one more final question, and we'll wrap it up. So what assets do you think Carolina would be comfortable giving away?
I mean, yeah, like Corey said, like you have the whole entire kind of organizational depth in the roster of like who could you really not live without, and there's only a few guys that you'd be like these are untouchables. But I mean, you look down Carolina, like they have a first coming up this year because they traded one for Keandre Miller, but they still have one from Dallas. They have a first next year. They have 2 firsts in 2028. Lots of draft picks, lots of capital. And then you said like the prospects. I mean, the prospect pool, you have the Bradley the Nadeau you could chop. You have, the young defensemen coming up. Potentially you could package a few of them together if another team's looking for that. I think, the options are kind of endless with Carolina. Did anybody expect Martin Necas that's already had was going to be the first one shopped out,
right.
for Mikko Rantanen? Like things can come out of left field, So, hey, I think anything's on the table.
All right, we'll close on this because I mentioned in the first question that Carolina's had below league average goaltending. I thought we saw good from Freddie on Sunday, even in the loss against Buffalo. I'm not sure that wasn't the best game Freddie has played in a while. He just looked more in control of the game in front of him than he had been. But with that said, and I know Brandon Bussey has played well, and half of Pyotr Kochechkov's starts of his 4 starts have been really good. The other 2 not so good. Would you be looking for goaltending, Ryan?
Depends on what's out there because teams that have goaltending really aren't looking to move goaltending. Like it's like the 2C conundrum in the NHL. It's like every single team wants a 2C, but nobody has a 2C they were going to give up. So it's a similar kind of situation. I think each of the goaltenders has played well in stretches. Like you said, Freddie has had maybe a little bit of down the last kind of week or two, but I think the Buffalo game is a stronger one. He's been more of a victim of sometimes the team playing in front of him without having a full defensive roster. And he said Kochetkov, like we've seen really good games. We've also seen, bad games. And that's kind of been the tail of the tape for Kochetkov for his whole career. If something's out there that'll make them better, I think those in. But again, I just don't know what's really out there that's going to be an improvement that you're something like you could say Saros, but he's got 6-7 more years on his deal. It's I guess to a point where we're kind of like
it's the second 6-7. Are you getting you get something? It's the second time you did 6-7, right? Corey, is your thoughts on goaltending?
I'm hip with the kids. You see me. Yeah, I mean, Saros is the name that jumps out, but at the same time, what Nashville did, they had a good young goalie that they could have groomed to be their next starter, and they went and traded him away because they thought they were the smartest people in the room on the opening of free agency. So now you're in a situation where they're already at the bottom of the league. Does a franchise like Nashville, and I mean the same would be true here, really want to bottom out for 4 or 5 years and be absolutely terrible? You can be, perhaps halfway decent with UC Saros. Everybody, looked around and saw the guys who got traded in the last couple years. Is Jacob Markstrom a better, starter than, is Jacob Markstrom a better starter than Frederik Andersen? We can debate that. Is what Detroit's done. Is John Gibson really an upgrade?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, a year ago, everyone would have told you the Hurricanes should trade for John Gibson.
I know. Everybody wants what they don't have.
So it's grass is greener a lot of the time. And, so it's tough. There's a situation where there's just not a lot of great goalies. And a lot of times it's just, look at the Washington Capitals. It's just like every other year, one of their goalies happens to be good. Yeah. It's kind of madness.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is that there's only a handful of Vasilevskis, Bobrovskis, Shesterkins, Ottingers, Hellebucks, and not all of those guys. In fact, only 2 of the guys I've mentioned have even been in a Stanley Cup final. Meanwhile, Stanley Cups have been won by the Darcy Kempers, Aiden Hills of the world, and I'm not in any way suggesting that those guys aren't good goalies, but they have bounced around. And you just got to be in the right situation. And also, goaltending hasn't really been what's held Carolina back in the playoffs. Ryan Henkel, Hockey News at Ryan Henkel. Corey Lavalette, Athletic, as well as North State Journal. And when he's not kicked off of Twitter, at Corey Lavalette. But, gentlemen, I'll see you at the game later.
Sounds good, AG.
All right, when we come back, we haven't really talked about football. We got a whole weekend of football to come, as well as basketball, and we will dig into that. You know what else we have? Top 5, bottom 5 in the NFL. Next.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
He scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Open enrollment for health insurance is here, but don't worry. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance has you covered for all your health insurance needs, including Medicare. And with offices in every county, a trusted, experienced agent is just around the corner, ready to help find a plan that's right for you. Visit ncfbins.com or stop by your local office today. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And this Thanksgiving, FanDuel is introducing a brand new way to build a parlay together. It is called Pass the Leg. Gosh, I love Thanksgiving jokes. Here's how it works. Start a group build, add your pick, pass it to your friends. They can add theirs, but make sure you pass it to somebody who knows what they're doing. Like, don't pass it to me. FanDuel.com/AGS. And everybody gets a 50% profit boost to use on the build. FanDuel.com/AGS. Pass the Leg, official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and maximum wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Scams increase during the Medicare open enrollment period, so stay alert. Never give your Medicare, Social Security, credit card, or bank account numbers to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly and claims to be from Medicare. Your caller ID may show Medicare's name or phone, but caller ID can be spoofed. Just hang up. Visit ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212. SHIP provides free, unbiased help in all 100 counties.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Are you looking for a 2-year hands-on agricultural degree while still gaining the university experience? I'm Lee Ivey, Director of the Agricultural Institute at NC State University. We offer 6 associate's degrees that span the agricultural industry and set our students up to meet their goals. Come live on campus, learn on our farms, and be a part of the NC State community. Learn more about our program online by searching NC State Ag Institute. 2 years, 1 degree, endless possibilities.
I had questions about my child's vaccines, so I got real answers from her doctor because we share the same goal, keeping her healthy and strong. Her doctor told me that keeping up with childhood vaccines, getting them at the recommended ages and sometimes together, is a proven way to protect her from serious illnesses, ones that can be prevented with vaccines. Have questions? Get real answers. Talk to your doctor. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
This is Adam Gold.
I told Tim, who does the afternoon show, I said, I'm about to turn this game around. We need Cheez-Its. So I went to go get magical Lucky Cheez-Its, and guess what? Boom. Period 2, tied it up. And then at the end of the game, I still had like 8 Cheez-Its in the cup left, and I said, Lucky Cheez-Its.
There you go.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We are going to rewind before we get out of here. A very busy weekend of football. Also, you played the Champions League theme song before. Was there a reason you played it other than Liverpool's expected latest loss at home today to PSV?
They're playing today, and the song is probably one of the best like sports themes I think that's out there.
In some ways, I'm embarrassed that I don't know. I was in a Thanksgiving, and you are a pop music guy. It seems like old pop music. That's why
old pop music.
I was surprised you didn't know who Craig Hayward was.
I don't know current as well. Too busy watching. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know what teams did he play for. Like, was he a good running back in the day or no?
Oh yeah, very good running back.
Like in the NFL or just college?
Well, both. He went to Pitt. It was a great player at Pitt. Played mostly for the Saints, but I think finished his career with the Falcons. But Ironhead was a very good player.
I'm
really
not
good
great
player.
with like 90s and before like NFL. You see,
Right.
Everything before my lifetime is a little hazier versus I know a little bit of like old NBA and it's mostly just older like NHL. I know a bit better than. And then when it comes to music, like I just like yacht rock and classic pop and stuff.
We've already established that you clearly have raided your dad's 8-track collection. He has 8 tracks, doesn't he?
He might. There's a lot of stuff in our basement. I'll have to go look when I'm back home tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I know there's records down there. There's a whole shelf that basically were just hanging around my feet when I would play video games in our basement. But I'm sure there's probably some good records in there too.
How much Chicago does he have?
Oh, he loves Chicago. He saw them live recently a couple years ago.
It's great that I nailed that. I also went through a Chicago phase too, by the way. Does he have the first
Chicago
one?
as well.
Chicago Transit Authority?
He might. I don't know.
It's a double album.
I don't know what's in his collection, but there's a lot of records. I don't think I've ever pulled them out and look at it, but you can see them vertically lined up on the shelf, and it's packed tight, so you can tell that there's a bunch of them.
All right. It's cool. Very cool. Should we do top 5, bottom 5 in the NFL? Let's do it. This is how we do it. We have 5 best, 5 worst teams in the league. The tradition is, Max, I allow you to tell me, do I start on the bottom or start on the top?
Let's start with the bottom.
Okay, I like it. I'm glad you chose wisely. All right, so number 28 all the way down through number 32. And this is a weird one for me because number 28 is not necessarily the 5th worst team in the league. I actually think this is the best of the bad teams. So that's how I'm going with number 28. This is the best bad team in the league, and that is the New York Giants. They are a problem. And all I'm going to say is Jameis. He is fun. They pulled off the flea flicker for a touchdown, and then he caught a touchdown pass. It was awesome.
That was such a sick play, and he kind of does the Heisman stiff arm on the guy and gets into the end zone, fillets the layup for the celebration. That was fun to watch.
And they did this is how great what the Giants did is that not only did they show you that they could be fun because they were fun, and I think Jameis played well, is that they did that without screwing up their own draft position because they lost the game anyway.
They call that ethical tanking.
Oh, that is beautiful. 2-10 with Jameis Winston, and they will be in New England, right? Was it Monday night in New England? When do they play the Patriots?
Yeah, I believe that is the Monday night football game this week. Yep.
All right, number 29, the Minnesota Vikings, who have lost 3 in a row. And this is sort of karma, right? They were so dialed in on J.J. McCarthy, and he had some good moments, and that we don't need Sam Darnold. We don't need Daniel Jones. Look, I ain't telling you that Daniel Jones is somebody you had to keep, and they just got him for whatever reason. They just got him to get him. The Darnold thing is starting to look kind of bad because J.J. McCarthy is not it, at least as we sit here today. He is unfortunately a mess, and I don't know how long it's going to take for them to clear that up.
Never give yourself an alter ego. That's the lesson here.
Oh, what JJ has done?
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, I don't.
You haven't seen?
No.
He is getting basically relentlessly clowned on social media because I think after their last win, he said he has an alter ego called 9 that comes out on game day.
Oh,
and if you see the pictures in the video,
yeah, you could do that if you're good. If you're really good, you can mess around with it.
It's taken a turn since then.
If you're Cam Newton, you could do the Superman thing, right? You can. Of course, Cam Newton got slammed for doing that, but when you're Cam, you can do that. Number 30, Washington. What happened? Yeah, I know. A lot of injuries, and Jaden Daniels is hurt and all of that. And Dan Quinn probably hurt him. But that has gone off the rails fast in Washington. After last year's optimism, whatever we're seeing this year is just the polar opposite of it. And I don't think Dan Quinn's going to got, but he is eroding the good feeling from last year. Number 31, the Bengals. Just because. Now, if you were the Bengals, wouldn't you shut Joe Burrow down? If you were the Bengals, if you were a top quality NFL organization, wouldn't you take your franchise quarterback who is dealing with turf toe, which is really a torn toe ligament, which if that doesn't get corrected, and obviously he's healthy now, but if that becomes a chronic problem, you're done. Wouldn't you take that quarterback and put him on mothballs and say, you know what? We suck. We're going to suck the rest of the year. We're going to suck with you at quarterback.
It seems like he wants to come back and play, though, even knowing.
Everybody wants to play.
Yeah.
Somebody has to protect the players from themselves, and somebody has to go, you know what would be best for this organization would be to have you really healthy next year and the side benefit of not winning any more games.
Better draft pick.
Exactly.
So you can get someone who can play defense.
That would be nice. Also, paying your best defensive player might be a good idea. Right? I'll just kind of mix that in. At number 32, is there a more pathetic team in the league than the Las Vegas Raiders?
Oh, wow. So Tennessee doesn't even make your bottom 5?
No, I mean, they had the first pick overall last year for a reason. They're no good.
I guess they're going to have the first pick again this
year. Yeah, they probably are going to. They don't need a quarterback, right? They could either sell that pick if somebody really wants their first pick of the quarterbacks. I wouldn't do that. But if they could sell that pick, or they could take the best defensive player on the board, whoever that might be when the wheel stops at draft time, because that's going to change. But the Raiders are the most pathetic team in the league. In what just week 12? We just fired the offensive coordinator as though Chip Kelly was the problem.
Yeah, Ashton Jeanty gets contacted like less than I'm pretty sure his yards before contact is something that's less than 2 yards, I'm pretty sure, on average. That offensive line is brutal.
We left the Jets, we left the Titans, we left the Browns. Also, although the Browns with Shedeur Sanders are undefeated.
And their defense is so good, too.
Miles Garrett is going to set the NFL record for sacks with 4 games
with like 3
to play.
or 4 games left.
He's had 2 4-sack games this year? Do the Panthers have 8 sacks?
They didn't for the first 4 or 5 weeks, and then they had a bunch. They had a bunch against the Jets,
which that counts as a Division I win, actually. All right. Now we do the top 5. We'll go 5 through 1. Number 5, the Denver Broncos. You know the Broncos have the highest point differential, best point differential in the fourth quarter in the NFL.
That makes sense given the big comeback win they had against the Giants, where they had 30 points in the fourth quarter.
Giants scored a bunch of points in the fourth quarter too of that game, but yes, they came back ultimately from 26 down to win that game. They are plus 49. They're only plus 65 on the entire season. The term House of Cards comes to mind when I think about the Broncos, but their defense is incredible. So right now they're at number 5. Number 4, the New England Patriots, who are 10-2. They have what have they won 9 in a row? I mean, Drake May, who didn't play, the play has kind of leveled off a little bit for Drake. They are in Washington coming up. Home against the Giants. Denver's in Washington. I do think that they're the best team right now in the AFC, but I think that's kind of a pillow fight for me. I struggled with putting any AFC teams in the top 5. And next week, I'll forecast this. We might only have NFC teams in the top 5. Number 3, Seattle. I understand a couple of weeks ago they lost to the Rams, and I know Sam Darnold will throw interceptions, and he's thrown way too many. They're still good. Really, really good.
Their defense is awesome.
Tremendous defense. They are 8-3. Number 2, San Francisco. They stunk on Monday. I thought the 49ers were bad. Brock Purdy's better than that. I don't get. Every time Brock Purdy has a bad game, they doubt whether or not Brock Purdy can play in the league. And I'm telling you, Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. Is he Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen? Is he one of the? No, he's not that. But when you get past the guys who can absolutely carry their teams, Brock Purdy's as good as any of those other guys. Any of them. He was bad against the Panthers, but he's going to have a whole lot more really good games than bad ones. And number one, who wants to argue with the Los Angeles Rams at this point? I'm going to read Matthew Stafford's numbers here. 66.5% completion, 2,830 yards, a 30-2 touchdown to interception ratio. That is your most valuable player right now. I mean, Matthew Stafford is the MVP of the league. And he's a Hall of Famer. My son asked me, do you think Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Famer? I'm like, yes.
No doubt Hall of Famer.
But people go, oh, he's only won one Super Bowl. Right. He played with the Lions for how long? This was before the Lions became competent, before Dan Campbell took over. And as soon as Matthew Stafford got with competence, he became a star when he was all along. He is great. The fact that they're squeezing every last bit out of what's left of Devontae Adams makes them that much better. They've got a good defense. I love Sean McVay as a coach. To me, they're the best team in the league. And frankly, they could easily be 11-0 instead of just 9-2.
Devontae Adams is leading the league in receiving touchdowns this year.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. All right, we're almost out of time here, Max. Is that what happened?
There's too much going. There's too many sports. It's all happening.
All right, let's spend the last couple of minutes. We have Duke and rather State and Carolina will play. State has won this game a lot lately. Dave Doran,
last 4 in a row, I believe.
And Dave Doran's record against UNC is exceptional. And I was having a conversation with somebody who, I believe that Dave Doran will make his own call when he decides to not want to coach at NC State anymore. I've said that for a long time. Of course, I did say that also with David Cutcliffe, that I thought Cutcliffe would make his own call, and ultimately the Duke administration decided they were going to make that call for him. And I think there's a lot of State fans that do want that to end. But I do think that it'll be Dave Doran's decision whether or not he wants to coach more at NC State or if he wants to go and retire and be a father, husband, fishing buddy. And for a lot of people, the only reason why he's still here is his success against UNC. I'm not saying that that's what I believe, but it doesn't hurt when you win the right games.
Yeah.
And he has won the right games, or at least the right game. He has had a dominant record against North Carolina in this series. What's interesting is that my understanding is that Bill Belichick has great respect for the program that Dave Doran runs. And now, for the first time, those two will go up against each other. I think this is going to be a super competitive game, and we'll see if NC State can play mistake-free. If they do that, I think they win it going away. But they have to play that way. Max, happy Thanksgiving. Tell your dad I said the same. Bye, everyone.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. We are celebrating Thanksgiving with a brand new fun thing called